How you doing? I'm gonna get the camera settled. 1 second. Oh, let me wipe the screen off here. All right, there we go. That's better. That's better. Excuse me. Excuse me. Much clearer. Let me get something to drink really quick before we get it started. Mm, got my replenish. Okay. I literally just pulled into um my parking space coming home from work. Oh, so excuse me if I look a little bit, you know, a little bit worn out because I've been, I just got home from work. But anyway, as you can see from the title of this video and in this live, um, I don't want to work anymore. I don't, I don't want to work anymore. And if you click this video, and yeah, I'm turning into one of those people. Excuse me. If you click this video, and that means that you feel the same way because you don't want to work anymore either, and I just really don't want to. And I keep having these moments where, like, I think if you saw my last live a month ago, I was telling you how I wanted to get into these videos and what was going to be pushing me and motivating me to do so. Well, it kind of seems that my current workplace is doing that. It's making me make these videos, and that's the only really good benefit other than having employment at all and making money that's coming from my job. But nevertheless, this is why I'm making this video today. This past week, I came off of PTO this past week, just like an extra day. And I'm going to try to make it kind of condensed. But this is what pushed me to make this video. Um, and I had an instance, not going to get real detailed with everything, but when I came back from work, my last day of PTO, literally my Monday of work, I come back and, I had my whole day, and then suddenly, and you know what's crazy? I had this feeling that something was going to happen. How you get that feeling that something is going to happen, like, or you're going to have a conversation with somebody, or you're going to encounter something, or something is going to happen. That was coming over me, like, and I knew that I was going to be having a conversation with my boss, right? So anyway, I had a conversation with my boss on my Monday, and basically I was issued a discipline. Just keep it short and sweet. I was issued a discipline, and I couldn't believe it because you know if you've been following my story a little bit, my workplace, my current workplace, I'm being targeted, like basically workplace bully, workplace harassed. But this one, I'm definitely did. I asked them, run the cameras back. Oh, thank you, I appreciate that. Thank you, thanks for compliments. I told them run the cameras back. Let me see the pictures. Let me see this. Let me see that. And they were like, yeah, they showed me the pictures, they showed me my signature, and it was a mistake on my behalf, so I took full accountability for it. But this past month, I've been battling, my own mental health issues, my depression, coming out of it, basically, right? And if you've been following my story, you know that, just coming out of it. And I told myself, now I had an inspiration by somebody telling me a story, and I wanted to be better and get out of it, and then suddenly that happened. I was issued a discipline, and I was shocked because I was trying to lay low, be more calm or cool, and I guess in my time of being more relaxed and trying to be more laid back at my job by not taking things too seriously, I made a mistake. That was on my own behalf. So that kind of like jolted me a little bit. So, but I prayed on it, and I told myself, and God told me to just put it in His hands, let it roll off your back. Don't worry about it because it doesn't. At this point, you're trying to exit out of my. I'm not trying to stay in my job anymore. I've been in my job 8 years. Okay, 8 years, and I'm just really not trying to stay there. All right, so I wanted to pursue my goals, which is why I'm making this video. Right, so um yeah, so I was like, all right, I was bothered by that, and I said, okay, I'm gonna pray on it, and then it was just because things good in my mind, and my mind is all over the place, and I'm just like I'm all over the place. So I prayed on it. I slept on it. I said I'm not gonna take it too seriously. I'm not gonna do too much about it. I'm too hard on myself, so I let it go. So today, okay, today, Romans 10:9 KJV. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for those messages. Today, I have a new boss, right? I have a new boss, and he's started this week, and he has the same name. He has a, hey y'all, how you doing? He has the same name as my other bosses, and mind you, I call them the Baldy Club because all they are, just a bunch of baldies. Okay, like thanks Fleur, they're a bunch of baldies, right? They're just bald headed. Mind you, it's very homogenous at my job. Okay, it's very homogenous. So it's just bald white guys. Okay, that's in charge. Bald white guys. I work at a very high industry, right? High level industry, and then that it's corporate, and that's what they're like, right? So that's okay. That Raj, that's okay. And if they are, that's what I mean. I'm not. I don't say my name. I don't say my job, so it's all right. And I do multiple things, so it's all right. They can assume all they like. I put it in God's hands. Maybe it's a sign. But so anyway, my boss, he's new. I have a new boss, and he's new, and so you need to make your boss happy. You know what I mean? I mean, show some skin, smile. Like, oh God, all right. Let's see, Chuck. How about we just go ahead and let you go? Because this is for Christians and for people that aren't perverts. At what time is it? 8:44 in the morning. Like my gosh, did you just wake up out the bed with the little knocker on and just be like, boing boing? Look at her. Oh, show some skin to your boss. Like boy, this is not OnlyFans. This is YouTube. All right, relax. So anyway, all right, I have a new boss, and he just started on this. He just started on my shift, okay, and he's another bald headed white male, which is fine. They bringing him in, bring him in. Reel him in, wheel him in, and it's all good, whatever. And uh, it just I don't know. It just the first impression I will say I didn't get any first impression. It wasn't a negative one. There was no first impression. Everything was all good. Like it was fine. And all right. What? How, how is he still in here? Let's see. Oh, okay. Well, I don't hear an apology. I just hear you. Okay. I'm gonna put you. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put you on timeout for 24 hours. There you go. He said I have a lot of power. Now you have a timeout for 24 hours. So that power has been stripped from you because you're such a weird creep pervy. So anyway, what was I saying again? Oh yeah. So the first encounter with him was non-negative at all. No negative encounter. It was okay. It was like a regular normal encounter. We introduced ourselves, and then yesterday when I was working with him, we had an instance where I was trying. Mind you, he's my boss now. They hired him. He's my boss. Um, we had an instance where we were doing some work, and I was trying to show him something, right? Um, I was trying to show him something, and he, I guess, took it offensively. And mind you, I choose my words very wisely, right? Very wise. Like I'm very careful with my words. I try to think about it because people perceive me to be a certain way, and if you know my journey, you know that people perceive me to be a certain way, and they think because my tone and all this and that, I gotta be. That's why I can't work for people. That's why I'm not made to work at a job. Like I'm not made for the system, okay? But we'll get to that. I'm not made for corporate. We'll get to that later on, but. So I tried to tell him. So I was trying to tell him how to do something, trying to help him. He's new. It's just like his second day on my shift, right? So I'm like, okay, so one of the person that we were working with was making an error. We're their boss. He's my boss, right? So I'm showing him how to, show this person who's our boss or who we're in charge of how to do something. So he was doing it wrong. So I said, hey, make sure that he doesn't do that. Make sure you do it the correct way. And so the shift manager knows how to do it properly, right? And he said to me something to the equivalent of, okay, well, there's only one shift manager or boss that needs to do this. And basically, talking about himself. And I just said, because sometimes sarcasm, like I can get it, but like sometimes if it's very subtle, I miss it, right? So like, but I just let it roll off. I was like, okay. I was like, all right, yeah, I understand. I was like, but you should. It's really important that you know how to do it the proper way because these are errors, and you encounter errors, and we have problems, and then it comes back on you, and then it turns into a progressive problem, under you, and then it becomes an issue for yourself. And he was like, oh, okay, well, I appreciate you. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I really appreciate you. I really appreciate that. I said, yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Let it go. I said, I didn't really, I was like, okay, that was a little bit strange, right? Like I was like, that was a little bit strange. But I didn't think too much of it, right? So today, right? Yeah, Bob. I'll say that. I'll call him Bob. We'll call him Bob. So good. Today, we're moving around, doing our thing. Everything's cool. We're working together. Good, fine conversation, being very cordial, being working together. Blah blah blah. Is little instances where he says, some little stuff that's not a big deal. I'm trying to help him, again, because he's under a training, right? He's in training. So he's supposed to be learning from us and following, like, he's supposed to be learning from us. That's kind of just how they do it. They follow all the people. Every person that gets hired follows everyone. And so I'm over there, and he's looking and I'm doing my thing and he's assisting. And he said, is this like a teamwork thing, this environment? Is this like a teamwork thing? Because I'm not really used to that. And I said, yeah, especially on this shift, because, my shift is, it's short staff. I said, yeah, especially on this shift, it's very much teamwork because everything goes down at once. We have to do this, we have to do that, we have to do this. And I said, right now it's just me and you that are here and we have to do all these things. And he was like, okay, that's a good point, blah, blah, blah. So it was cool. And I was like, he was like, oh, is this a teamwork? So almost like he doesn't like teamwork. Like, because it's like, why would you be like, is this a teamwork thing? You helping me? Is this a teamwork thing? I'm not using a team. It's like, okay, you're not. Okay. So, Rohit, keep quiet. Okay. So I'm not sure what you mean by that. And I don't know if you're giving advice or not, but I'm going to go ahead and put you in timeout too for 24 hours. So now you can't talk, because, yeah, I feel like that. So, anyway, so yeah, so I was like, okay, that's cool. So then we had an instance where we were finally doing the last, bit of work that we were going to do together, that I made it, that we were going to do together that night, and, or this morning. And I was playing with, me and the person that we were working with, because when me and him, we're in charge, right? He's in charge of me, but I'm in charge too. So we're, and then we deal with another person that's, that we have to, we have, okay, well, maybe, I don't know your name. It says you're at fault. You only help with who want to be helped. So I don't think you understand what I just said, which was that, when you're in training and you're a new person, you have to follow like all the people. You have to follow the people that are you're working with. So he has to follow me. He has to learn from me, and I have to help him because he doesn't know like anything. So I can't really tell you too much like about what my job and what I'm doing because I don't want to be too detailed. But he doesn't know anything. So he has to. So when we're working with, he'll eventually be able to do it where it'll just be him and the other person that we're working with. But right now it has to be me, him, and another person that we're working with, or it'll be errors. You know what I mean? Which he's created. So yeah, and just I will say too, I let him absolutely do majority of the work. Like, you know what I mean? Like majority of the work, right? So there is nothing feminine about you. Okay, thank you for that. I mean, BLM. I mean, okay, thank you for that. I appreciate it. I mean, nothing. I mean, wow, that's a lot. All right. Well, I appreciate the feedback. I mean, what do you get out of that? Just telling me that, just nothing, just because. Maybe it's my voice. You know what I mean? It's that sexy, sultry thing, and it's early in the morning. So, but anyway, who cares? So, um, and in my job also, it is Shrek. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is a troll. Wow. All right, somebody with no life at 8:40, you guys. I make this person excited, and they just don't know how to react to that energy. So I'm gonna put them in timeout for 24 hours so they can stare at me but not say anything. So they don't know how to react to being excited when they see me, clearly, because they had to go for my looks and then talk about Shrek, which means it's the opposite of what they're actually saying. They're like, yeah, I mean, sheesh. So anyway, come on, you guys are like taking me away from the story. I'm trying to like, this is about how I don't want a job. Yeah, because people are weird, Raj. That's pretty much it. People are just weird. And people are just weird. And they got issues. And this is a part of my spiritual attack. You know what I mean? I got to be able to deal with this. The more people watch my videos, I got to be able to deal with this stuff. And God knows I can deal with this stuff, so it's all good. Like, trust me, I'm confident in me. I know me. So anyway, so I am eventually I'm letting him do majority of the work. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not even really like intruding. You know what I mean? It's just that when there's an error, I can see that he's doing. I say, hey, just so you know, you got to make sure you fill it out this way, because if you miss this part, like it'll, you'll get written up basically. Like you'll get it'll excel into an issue, right? So, and he has to learn that stuff, and then if I'm the one signing behind him, I have to let him know because it'll fall on me too. So that's kind of like the communication that we're having, right? I mean, I don't know why that's something I have to tell, but we're all adults here, right? We know how works, right? We're like corporate works, right? We know how this works, right? So, so then, me and the person, the third party that we're working with, right? Me and him are joking around. You know, he said something, they're talking, and then me and him are joking. I made a joke to the third party person that we're working with, and he, my boss, Bob, intruded and said something very smart, which is kind of what he did the first time. It was like, huh, it kind of seems like it kind of seems like you're trying to give him a hard time and tell him how to be, and you're bullying my, not bullying, he didn't say these words, he said that you're telling him how to be, and you're intruding on my employee, basically. I'm not gonna say what he is, but my employee. And I said, what? I said, okay, him and I have a relationship. Him and I said, we have our own relationship. I said, I know what to say to people and what not to say to people, and I know how to joke with people and what people not to joke with, because everybody has boundaries. I said, I figured that out. I said, me and him, we've known each other for a very long time, right? You're hot enough to even get away. Okay, thank you. Okay, you're hot. Okay, cool. Thanks, Paul. I appreciate that. So I was like, yeah, I know who to joke with. I was like, so me and him have a relationship, so it's all good. I wouldn't overstep with him. We're cool. And he said something to the equivalent. I said, when you have a relationship with your staff, when you start building your relationship with your staff, you'll be able to joke the same way, and it'll be all good. And he said something like, huh, are you checking me right now? And I said, it's a little bit. I said, only because, the other day you did it over there. I said, but a little bit. I said, but it's not a big deal. I said, you kind of just seem like a very, direct person. I said, I'm a direct person, so it's not a big deal. And he said, okay. He said, well, we could talk about it later. We could talk about it later if you want to. I said, no, 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 I don't want to talk about it. I said, I don't want to talk about it. I was like, it's not a big deal. I said, I don't want to talk about it. It's really nothing. I said, we just have two different personalities. I said, I get the picture. You know what I mean? And he was like, okay. And then he was like, all right. And I told him I don't want to talk about it. Then he came to me again, and he was like, can I talk to you for just like 2 minutes? Can I talk to you for 2 minutes? And I said, I really rather not talk, like, because I really don't want to, And I said, it's really nothing, so it's not a big deal, so it's nothing to talk about. He said, okay, so it's like water under the bridge, like it's really not that big deal. I said, it's really not. And he said, okay, because he said, I just feel like, and then that's when I knew, like, this conversation was gonna get real personal and emotional, like, you know what I mean? And I just don't like these in the workplace, y'all. I don't want to have this conversation with you in the workplace, and you're my boss, so it's just like, I'm not, why you're supposed, anyway. So he said, I just feel like, you brought up that last instance, and he said you brought up an instance beforehand, and he was like, I think you were talking about what happened with this, etc., etc., etc. So that let me know he knew there was an instance. Like, he knew there was one. I never said anything about it, but he knew there was one. So he was aware. So he was like, when you said that, he said, when you were trying to correct me, in my ear, he said, I felt like you were trying to call me out on what I was doing and showcase me. And I guess essentially he thought I was trying to embarrass him. And he said, you were trying to showcase me and call me out on my error, in front of the third party, right? So I was like, okay, I didn't make it. I just said, okay, I'm taking in what he said. I'm like, okay, okay. Mind you, all, when we were with that third party, I didn't correct him. I corrected the third party, because the third party was doing something wrong, and we were going to sign for it, and I was stopping the third party from doing it. So I stopped him, and I said, hey, and he didn't catch it only because he doesn't know, right? He doesn't know what he's looking at. So I said, hey, just so you know, make sure that he doesn't do this because of this, that, and that, and then it'll progress, right? And so that's what he was talking about. That's what he was talking about in his response. So he said, I feel like you were trying to call me out in the air and showcase me, etc., etc. So I said, okay, well, I took that all in, and I told him that I said, I understand. I understand that perspective. I said, I'm not trying to do that. I said, look, we don't know each other, right? I said, this is like the first time we met. I said, I met you yesterday. I said, we don't even know each other. I said, we don't know each other's personality. I don't know anything about you. You know anything about me. I said, I'm very particular with my words. I said, I try to think about what I'm going to say, and I speak very clearly. And I said, as long as I didn't flat out disrespect you, blatantly say anything disrespectful, or, do anything that, would warrant anything that would go to HR or anything like that, then I said, I guess on my end, I assume, this is what I told him. I said, I assume that in your position as my boss, as a shift manager, as a peer, and you're supposed to be training, and, you're supposed to be understanding that I can give you some insight and input to help you, and you wouldn't take it personally because you have a professionalism and you have a responsibility and decorum because you're a boss. You're higher than me. I'm already a boss. You're a higher boss than me. So I told him, like, I'm assuming that you have more decorum, you have professionalism in order to take in insight and understanding and not take it personally. And because you don't know me. I said, you don't know my personality, you don't know anything about me. So he just kind of like nodded, and I was like, so, but I kind of feel like you're a little bit cheeky, right? I was like, your personality, because he said that, he's like, okay, well, may I respond? He said, I just feel like, I said, I just kind of felt like you're a little bit cheeky, like this. He said, that you're a little bit, you know, um, jokey. And I said, I'm like that too, because I do that too. I tease as well. You know what I mean? I said, but, I don't really know you. I don't really know you yet. And I said, no, and I'm cool with you being a little bit cheeky and stuff like that. I said, I'm cool with it. Like, I said, I guess I just feel like, well, I didn't say feel because I try to avoid that word. I said, I guess I just believe that it's best if another boss on your level trains you. I said, I think it's best if another one on your level trains you, and that would be easier. That would be better for you. He said, he said, well, that's what you want. He said, that's absolutely not what I want. That's not what I said I wanted. I declined that. I didn't say that I wanted that, and blah, blah, blah. And I said, I understand. I said, I didn't say that it's what you wanted. I'm just saying that it's probably for the best. And then he said, okay, well, you're saying I'm cheeky, so you're saying that, I need to change, and I need to do this, and I need to stop being like this, and I need to stop being like that. I said, I didn't say any of that. I said, I'm talking about me. I said, I said, I think it's best that we have a boundary and somebody else trains you that's on your same level. And, and maybe it would be best to receive the information if somebody was on your same level. Because to me, in my mind, you all, he only got to tell me twice. It kind of seems like he doesn't want me around, right? Basically, like he don't want me around. He don't want me to help him. So it's totally fine. Like everybody says it in a different way. I'm not taking it personally. Like when he comes to me, he's kind of getting smart. I was just like, okay, like, you know what I mean? I'm like, because I'm like hearing it, and it's like, okay, at first I'm trying to figure out your personality, and it's like that's the first instance. Now it's the second instance. Like, okay, I got it. I got it. You ain't got to tell me twice. You don't want me, or you want to do it yourself, do it. I'm not going to help you at all. You're going to get errors. You want to do whatever, do it. You know what I'm saying? You want to be trained. You don't even want to know. Like, you know what I mean? Because I'm not signing anything. You can sign, I'm not signing under you. You know what I mean? So don't ask me to sign under whatever you did. You finish it all, and I'm not signing it. Like, because I didn't see it. You know what I mean? So basically, yeah, I got the picture. So that's how I looked at it. That's why I said I didn't want to talk. And he kept like pushing to talk, and I'm like, I don't want to. You know, because I get the picture. Like, it's not a big deal to me. I don't care. Like, you know what I mean? You don't, do whatever. So, but he kept, now we're in this conversation. And I told him, I said, you see how we're having this conversation? You see how we had those two instances? I said, I don't want to have those instances. I don't want to have these conversations. I really don't. Because these are uncomfortable for me because I am very direct and I'm very professional, and I try to, speak to people, and I try to, you know, create boundaries and, respect in the workplace. And a lot of people, they don't they want to cross your boundaries, and they don't respect you having boundaries and your personality. They want to have their personality, but they don't want you to have your personality. You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, I can let people do certain things, but it's like when it becomes repetitive, it's almost like, okay, but yeah. So then I noticed he started getting a little emotional because to me it seems like emotion when you're saying, like, so you're saying I'm like this, you're saying I'm like that, and I never said any of those words. I said, I didn't say anything like that. I said, everything I've been saying to you has been I. I've been saying, I think it's best if somebody else shows you. I think it's best if you, if we have a boundary, you know. And he said, well, you created this boundary. He said, this is the boundary you wanted. He said, you made it. He said, you created the boundary. You made it. I said, yes. I said, I think it's best if there's a boundary created now, because now we're experiencing this conversation. And, you know, I was kind of uncomfortable. So, and I was like, that's it. So now it's just professionalism. Like, you know, I can't, like, I had a little couple of jokes with him. I mean, I just met the dude yesterday. Like, and it's just like, you know, I have to check. Mind you, all, let me tell you, let me just back up a little bit before I finish the story. I got to work. I get to work late, and I got to work at 12, right? I get to work at 12. I'm at work, I'm doing my thing, just started the day, moving around, doing stuff. Somebody leaves a phone on the counter, random phone. It's people everywhere, whatever, you know, a random phone. I pick the phone up, right? I look at it, it lights up. I'm looking at my two coworkers, and I said, "Y'all know whose phone this is?" And they say, "No, no, it's not mine. No, it's not mine." Phew, excuse me, bless you. Sorry. I said, "Do you all know whose phone this is?" They say, "No, it's not mine. It's not mine." I said, "Look." I look at the phone. It's 12:12. Okay, 12:12. And biblically, that means something biblically. And we're talking about Jesus. We're talking about God. All right. It's 12:12. Thank you, Kuma. And once I picked it up, it's just at that moment. And you know what that person's screensaver was? Their wallpaper. It said, "Protect your energy." It said, "Protect your energy." And the time was 12:12 a.m. And me, you know, I like angel numbers, but see, I like angel numbers when it goes from the Bible. You know, I don't be doing with the devil, you know, all that crazy voodoo stuff. So me, I knew because I told you like I'm how I'm making this video. I'm trying to pivot. I'm trying to move. I'm trying to excel. And I'm noticing the signs. I'm noticing more and coming out of depression and trying to move, and I'm forcing myself to do it. I'm forcing myself to move and make videos and do things. I'm noticing the stuff, right? That God is telling me, and the affirmations. I prayed really hard before I got to work. I prayed so hard, and I said, I didn't want, you know, I want to have a good day, and I want you to get me where I want to be, and I don't want to work anymore. I don't want to work a 9 to 5, and I want, you know, because I applied to a few different jobs. Anyway, we'll get to those things, but I prayed really hard before I got there. And right when I got to work, that happened at 12:12 a.m. It said, the wallpaper, person's wallpaper said, "Protect your energy." 12:12 a.m. And I looked at my coworkers. I said, "Look at this, y'all. We don't even know whose phone this is." I said, "Y'all, it says 12:12 a.m. Protect your energy." It says something about to happen. Something's about to happen. Right after that, about 15 minutes later, I'm dealing with one of my coworkers, somebody that I'm a supervisor of, right? I'm a supervisor. I'm a supervisor of them, right? I'm working with this person, and I'm working with them. We're doing our thing, same as usual, same old. Okay, same old, casual, cordial. Me and this person, we have an okay relationship, mind you. This person has flirted with me. I'm your supervisor. They already know I've already drawn a line. Okay, so they already look at me a certain way. Okay, because I've drawn a line with them. They flirt with me. They, you know, and this is the thing. People think I'm uptight because I have a lot of boundaries in work, but they don't know me outside of work. You know, it's just like I just have boundaries at work. That's all. But anyway, so this person used to flirt with me in the past. Once I drew that line, now they're kind of like they're like in and out with me, right? So we're cool. Everything's going good. I'm working with this person, and we're talking. And they say, "Hey, do you like Chick-fil-A? Do you eat Chick-fil-A?" I said, "Yeah, I like Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A's cool." And they said, "Okay, well, you know, next week I might bring some Chick-fil-A. You know, you're gonna have to come get some." I said, "What day are you gonna bring it?" And they said, "Oh, on, you know, this day, blah." I said, "Okay, you gotta tell me in advance." He said, "I'm telling you now." I said, "I know, but you gotta tell me like the day before or something, or like the next day, because I might be off or something like that, right?" So he was like, "Okay, okay." So then we're talking about other stuff, blah blah blah, and everything's going good. I'm cleaning up and blah blah blah. And he says to me, "What what kind of man is your type anyway? Because you seem very hard to satisfy." That's what he says to me, y'all. That's the question that came out of this grown man's mouth. This is my employee. This is my employee. And that's the problem I have in my workplace right now, is that I get no respect. I get no respect. Okay? Well, whatever that dude's name is with the eyeball, I get no respect. That's what I be feeling like. I don't know if it's because I'm a woman of color, because I'm petite, because I'm, you know, attractive, because it seem direct, because I'm stern, you know, and I don't know, it's a mixture. But even though even though they see that I have boundaries, they always want to test them. Like they always want to test them. They see how I speak, they see how eloquent I am, and all that stuff, and they just always want to try me. And that's just, I know, because that's the beauty of being a chosen one. It comes with blessings and curses. If you know, you know, right? So he says to me, "What kind of man is your type anyway? Because you seem really hard to satisfy." So I look at him. Mind you, he's already crossed boundaries before, and I had to check him. This is why we have a. So I said, I had to stop because y'all, I used to be the type of person where I just do, but I'm a thinker now. I breathe now, and I'm trying to be better. So I stopped, and I said, okay. Um, I said, you know, it's not any of your business what kind of man is my type and how I get satisfied, or how long it takes I get satisfied, or what it is like to get satisfied. Is none of your concern. I said I don't think that's an appropriate question for you to ask me. And then y'all, we this is when I knew. This is the thing about loving God and having boundaries. You're gonna end up in these conversations, just like I had with my boss. Now I'm about to have this conversation. So once I say things like this, it's like the conversation begins. And y'all, this is the story of my life, is that I always end up having these conversations. I always end up having them, and they're always uncomfortable, always awkward for everyone. And I don't want to have them, but it's like I want to be me. You know what I mean? And I want the respect I deserve in the workplace, because I feel like I'm not asking for too much, right? And I feel like things are inappropriate, and I feel like it's too lax in there, and people say whatever, and then they want me to be like them. Like they want me to be part of that toxic environment where anything goes. It's like I'm not. I'm not. That's why I don't want to work no more. I'm not made to be in there. I can't be like, oh, you know what satisfies me? I can't just go with that. Okay? I can't just go with you talking to me like I'm anything. You know what I mean? I can't just go with it, because it's like, you don't know me. You know nothing about me. You're perceiving everything about me. You don't know what I have to offer. You don't know nothing. And you just treat me like nothing. But anyway, so so then I say that, and he says, why does it seem like, you always have an issue? This is the thing that people do. They always trying to read me like they know me. So he said, why does it seem like, you have a problem whenever I ask you something? And I said, well, it's not that I have a problem whenever you ask me something. I said, I have an issue with the things that you ask, and I think they're inappropriate, and I don't think that they're work appropriate. And and I'm your supervisor, and I said, I've told you this before, sometimes I think that when we laugh and joke around a little bit, you think that there is a line, and you cross it, and say you think that there's more than what it is. And I said, I told you that he's flirted with me, he hit on me before, and I had to cut it. And I said, and I'm keeping it in my mind, like, I don't want to tell him that, but I want, what I really feel is like, ever since you got rejected, you're like being weird. But like, it's like, you know I didn't say that. I just said, I don't think these things are appropriate. And he was just like, oh, I said, and you kind of done this before, yeah, the other day. What you did it the other day, where I asked him to do something, he totally got mad at me. He just got smart at me. And he was like, oh, you're talking about that time when you did this, you asked me to do this, blah, blah, blah. And I said, yes. And he was like, it just seems like, you're just mad. Like, you just seems like you're always mad. And that's the thing, you all, like, people, in that place always just think you're mad, or I'm mad. It's like, no, you just never met someone that speaks well like me. You just never met someone that respects themselves as much as I do. You just never met someone that doesn't let you talk to them like you're talking to me. Like, I smile a lot. Anybody that knows me know I smile a lot. I'm very good with a lot of my coworkers. I'm very good. It's just certain people. It's that manipulative spirit. It's that spirit that's manipulative. I can see right through it. I can see right through it, and I don't like it. And I always give it room. I give manipulative spirits room for growth. I always allow them to show me they're manipulative first. I don't just take them as manipulative. I let them show me first, like more over periods of time. Thank you, Koma. Thank you. I always let them show me first. I could give them grace. I give them grace, right? But then it's like, you know, you give a man to take a mile, and I try to stop it, and it's almost like, now I'm mean, now I'm this. So he's like, you just seem like you're mean, you seem like you're mad. It's like, no, I'm just direct. This is work, y'all. It's no feeling. It's not about your feelings up in here. It's just about what it is. Flat out, that's not something you ask your supervisor. Period. What kind of man do I like, and I seem hard to satisfy? That's none of your business, and I don't need to know your opinion about what I seem like and how hard I seem to satisfy. I don't care. And I'm glad that I seem high maintenance and hard to please, because that means that it weeds out all the bull crap that be coming towards me. Trust me. There's a lot I don't have to deal with because they already know. They look at me, they say, oh, I can't even penetrate that. Can't even penetrate them walls. You know what I mean? And I don't mean that in the way you think. I mean like the walls that I've put up for the goofies. So yeah, so then we were going back. So I said, I'm very patient with him, you all. I'm being very patient with him. And I said, it just seems like, whenever I ask you to do something, you just it's a little pushback, maybe some combativeness. I'm not really sure, but it seems a little bit of pushback, and I don't want it to be like that. And I said, just like now, I want to ask you to do something as your supervisor, and I just want you to respect what I'm saying to you. And he was just like, no, it just seems like this and that. He said, okay, and then he clearly, I said, okay, thank you. And I don't know, it didn't really end that way. Anyway, so we were signing the papers. He threw the pen across the table, and I said, oh, okay, okay. And he said, oh, I hope you didn't perceive that to be a certain way or perceive me to be doing something. I said, you didn't have to say that. I didn't say anything. We're keeping it to ourselves. Like, that's it. That's the end. We're done. I walk away. He goes over to my coworker, and my coworker's like, "Hey, how you doing?" He's like, "Well, I was having a good day. Now I'm not." So it's all my fault. Now it's my fault, right? Now it's my fault. Okay, so now I'm dealing with children at my job, right? Grown children. It's like a grown daycare in there, right? And I'm dealing with just a bunch of people with just vices, like my environment. And then that's another thing. I'm just sidetracked. Sorry, I know I'm sidetracking. I hope you can keep up. My workplace. I know I'm not doing. I'm not. I know I'm not in the right workplace because I'm providing a vice to a consumer base. And it's unhealthy. It's a toxic environment. It's big industry, and it's not good for people. And it involves like money, alcohol. It just involves it all, and it's like it's bad, right? It's just a bad place to be all the time. And so just to go back, so that's what happens with that after the 12-12 protect your energy thing. That's when I knew it was going to be. So I went over and told my coworkers about the 12-12 thing, that I told the 12-12 thing. I told them what happened. They were like, what, that's crazy. So they were on my side because I know who to connect with, right? And who to speak to about certain stuff. So then after that, I had that day with my boss. I had the rest of that thing with my boss, where he wanted to have a conversation. He just kept pressing me on for a conversation. And so I was just like, oh my, this day I'm protecting my energy. I'm protecting my energy. I go on my break. I go in the car. I go and look at my Bible, and I search up 12:12, Psalms 12:12, Hebrews, and scriptures in the Bible about 12:12, right? And they gave me a lot of scriptures, a lot of information, and I read them all. And basically, the information about it was, no matter what obstacles come forth towards you, or just know that God is assuring you that you can trust in him and he hears you. And also that it used the word protection. It said God's protection and grace is over you. God's protection. It used the word protection. And that girl showed me her phone. I picked up her phone and said 12:12, and it said protect your energy. And I didn't even know whose phone. It was a random phone. I didn't know whose phone. I said, whose is this? Because I thought somebody lost it. And it said protect your energy. And the word protection popped up. And it said Hebrews. And it said a lot of affirming things that I knew that God was like, who cares about this place? I can't stand this. I can't stand this place. And I get a little emotional. I'm getting a little teary-eyed only because I don't want to be there anymore. I don't want to be there anymore. Okay? Hold on one second. Let me just get a little, hold on. It makes me emotional. One day I'm gonna make a video and I'm not gonna get teary-eyed. Alright? But I feel like I'm hitting a word right now in my spirit, and I don't know if anybody feels the same way I feel. I feel like it's kind of spreading right now. It's like the chosen ones and the people that understand know, like, not meant for it. Not meant for the system, not meant for corporate, not being heard. So anyway, let me just finish the story up, just to get the eyes from watering. Excuse me. So, towards the end, I had that whole day, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna let that go. After the conversation, I said, you know what, I'm gonna let it go. I don't even care, right? I don't care. Thank you, Kuma. I appreciate that. Thank you. I said I'm gonna let it go. So I'm about to leave work. I get off at 8 in the morning. I'm about to leave work. I'm doing my last bit of work, right? I'm trying to help out because it's getting really busy. As it's times where it gets busy, right? So I'm doing it before I leave. I always stay a little bit extra to help, extra 15, 10 minutes or so. I don't usually do that, but anymore. I used to before, but now I help it because on busy days I will. So I'm doing it, and again, I'm working with a person that I'm supervising, the third party, right? And then there's my boss, right? So now the third party comes in. He comes over, he's like, hey, I'm going right here. Are you coming? And I said, yeah. I said, yeah, I'm ready. Come on, let's go. Let's do it. So he comes. So then my boss, Bob, right? Call him Bob. My boss, Bob, goes, wow, he came right over to you. Dang, he's ready for you. I said, yeah, he's pretty good. He's fast and he wants to get it done. And I know he be on it. He said, yeah. And I said, can you help me do this, right? Because it was four of them that need to be done at the same time simultaneously, and there's multiple of us to make it happen, right? So I'm already taking on two, and one of them is already gone, right, and left. So there's only me and him that can do it right now. So I took the stuff that I need him to help me with because I had all four, right? And I'm about to leave. Like, I'm really off work. Like, I'm about to leave, right? And nobody else is helping. And nobody told me about it. I'm just taking it upon myself to help, right? So I have all four. So I gave him two of them so I can do my two. And I said, can you help me do these two and over there? Can you help me do those ones over there? And he said, yeah, sure, no problem. I got you. So then he continues to talk to the third party. Like, he continues to talk to the third party, right? So then, and then I see him just sitting the deck down like he's not moving, and then I'm like, I'm trying to do it, right? Because it's all a commotion. I mean, I can't be too detailed, but it's like a lot, and it's almost like he needs to just hurry up and go over there and do it, like get it done, basically. Like it's a time crunch, it's time management, basically. Like when you hire this job, like, do you have time management? This is time management stuff. So, so I'm doing it. I said, oh no, I need you to help me with those ones. I'm just reiterating. I don't know, maybe it came off bad. I don't know, but that's all I said. And maybe some people, they just don't like that, right? They just think it's annoying, which I get. Some people think I'm annoying, heard it plenty of times before. It is what it is. My bottom line is that even regardless if I'm annoying, you're at work, deal with it and be professional about it. Don't throw a hissy fit, just be professional about it. Or you're the boss, be professional, don't throw a hissy fit, deal with it, be professional about it. Show the leadership skills, right? So anyway, so I said, oh no, can you help me, with those ones over there, blah blah blah. So he says, oh yeah, I am about, he said, yeah, that's what I'm about to do. I'm gonna go over there in a second. I'm trying to build a relationship with my staff, like, before, so I can build that relationship. So, and I was like, okay, like, I'm just saying, like, okay, like, because like I said, like, first it has to sink in. Like, people be sarcastic, like, I get it, but like when it's really subtle, I'm just like, and then I hear it and I'm like, okay, and then like, but I like that I respond like that because I don't want to respond like, excuse me, like, I don't want to respond like that because I used to respond like that, like, excuse me, but I feel like now, like, the more I'm, you know cleaner I become, like, with God, close to God and praying, it's like I'm almost just like, okay, like, well, like, what do you, like, what, like, whatever, like, like, whatever, like, you know what I mean, whatever, what are you talking about? You know what I mean, like, what are you talking about? So he's like, yeah, I'm trying to build it on. So I'm like, okay. And then I was like, wow, I just shook my head. After it sunk in, I was like, oh, okay. That's right when I'm about to leave, y'all. That's right when I'm about to leave work. So I said, you know what? I said, I don't want no problem. In my spirit, something told me, go tell my boss, right? Go tell my boss, because I have a boss too. Because he's my boss, but he's not my shift's boss. I have a shift boss already. So they're gonna figure out where he's gonna go. I don't think it's gonna be on my shift, and he probably don't want to work with me either. But yeah, I said, I was like, you know what? After yesterday, right? After being disciplined yesterday, having to deal with that, like, just having to deal, just being tired of this place, dealing with constant stuff, just constant stuff, constant stuff. I said, you know what? I'm about to go tell my boss. I said, every encounter that I have from now on, I'm about to just go tell him. And I already document everything, y'all. I document everything. I write everything down. I record everything. I have a dictaphone. I voice record everything, every instance. I go on my break. I say what just happened. I say what time it was. I say the date. I say where you're at. I say the location, because there's cameras where I'm at. So, like, I always record what happens, right? Um, so, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go tell him, because I don't want any problems, and I don't want him to go beat me to it, because that's what they do, and then I get, a perception about me and stuff like that. And I was like, I'm gonna start just telling them first, like, and beating them to it, because I'm gonna make my way out of here anyway. Because, mind you, when they were like, oh, you have a discipline, and this discipline is gonna take a year to fall off, and I've been at my job 8 years, y'all, and it's the third department I've been in, and I've been at my workplace as a whole for 8 years, and my reputation is what helps me move around, and I don't like when people try to ruin it. So it matters. It's like the thing that matters to me. So like I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna tell them. I'm just gonna tell them from now on, because I don't want to have to deal with this. I don't want to have to deal with the perception and etc. So I went to my boss right when I was about to leave work. I said, can I talk to you in the office? We went in the office. I was very, very just, me and him are cool. Like, me and him, we have a pretty cool relationship. I know him for the whole 8 years I've been there. This is his like third department. We were in the same previous department together for years. He was my boss before. We've already worked together. He already knows my personality. I already know his personality. He get on my nerves sometimes. I get on his nerves sometimes. We're cool. Like, what I'm saying? Like, but it's cool. Like, we can still talk. Like, you know what I mean? He's more humble. Like, you know what I mean? So we're cool. Like, I can talk to him and I can't tell him everything, because he is still my boss. And he is still an op. You know what I mean? He's still an op. But I can tell him more. Like, than I can tell most people, right? So, so when he told me the discipline, I told him, I said, I don't even think I'm going to be here a year from now, because I don't want to work anymore. Okay? That's the theme of this video. So I tell my boss that I had this encounter with him, that conversation. I told him about the encounter, and I told him exactly what I said. I told him I thought he was cheeky, and I told him my exact words, because y'all, I don't mince words. Whatever my grandma always told me growing up, whatever you said to somebody, you got to make sure you can repeat it, because people will come back and say you said this or say you said that, and I always, always, always make sure I try to take my time. I'm not perfect, but I always try to make sure I'm cognizant of, did I tell this person this so I can repeat it, or what words I'm using, because people try to spin your words with me a lot, especially. Because I'm always being tested, so I always have to play like, word play, mental sparring, word sparring with like every person that I encounter. So it's like they always just trying to test my intelligence. Like, they hear me speak, they judge because I'm a woman. They hear my voice, they're like, wow, her voice is deep. I don't know, my voice is deep, the tone, everything. They're like, she must be smart, she must be this, or she might. It's like a subconscious thing, and then they try to test it, right? So I'm in there. Me and my boss were cool. He said, okay, cool. I told him what happened. He said, okay, I understand. He said, I'm still trying to learn his personality. He said that my boss told me, let's call this boss Billy. I'll call him Billy, right? The boss I'm talking to, Billy, he said that, yeah, Bob told me that he had a conversation with you, right? And I said, okay, cool. And he said that, but he didn't tell me what it was about. And he said, I asked him, how did it go? Did it go wrong, or did something happen bad? And Bob said, no, nothing. It was fine. Which is basically how I felt, right? Until he did that thing right when I was about to leave. Like, when he got smart, like, again, I was like, you know what? At this point, I don't know what he gonna do, or if he gonna spin a story. So I said, let me go in there and tell him that I had a conversation with him, and we had like a little bit of an encounter, and we had one the day before. And I said, off the record, talking to Billy, I said, off the record, because me and him are cool, and I can be cool with him. I said, it kind of seems like, he is a little bit cheeky. And I said, that's the words I told him. I said, he's just a little bit sarcastic. And I said, I'm cool with joking and stuff like that. I was like, but once he started opening the door to tell me he felt like I was trying to point out his error and showcase him and call him out, and I don't essentially belittle him, which is not the word to use, but he was that's what he was insinuating. That's what I was getting from it, that I was made him feel like I was belittling him, and he was embarrassed, right? So even though to me I was trying to help it, and I told him, I didn't want him to be like that, and I told him, like, I get the clue. I told him that I was just gonna let a shift manager do it, and we would have a boundary. And my boss Billy, he said he understood that, and he said he was still trying to work around his personality, and et cetera, et cetera. And I said, to me, and I'm just talking to my boss Billy, I said, to me, that's like a sign of weakness, when you automatically bring up your feelings as a boss, you know what I mean, as a director, or a vice president, or a president. Like, when you're like, me and him are cool. So I said, to me, like, you should have a sense of decorum when you're the boss of a boss, right? You should have a sense of decorum. And I said, it looks like weakness to me when you bring up your feelings in a way where you're just like, you just met this person and you're like, they tried to help you, you're like, I feel like you were trying to call me out, I feel like you were trying to, make me feel like this, I feel like I told him, I said, that's why I created the boundary, because I don't want to deal with that. And I said, I told Billy, I said, Billy, I'm trying to lay low. I said, you gave me a discipline yesterday, they already targeted me in here, workplace harassment, they don't appreciate my hard work. It's just off the record. I said, so I'm trying to lay low. I'm being quiet. I've been being quiet. I don't try to get into it with people. I try not to, I just try not to rub people the wrong way. I just try to lay low now, right? Because I'm trying to leave. I'm trying to exit out, bow out gracefully. Not let them run me out or push me. I'm trying to bow out with what I want to do with my life, right? But I don't want them ruining my reputation. They're not going to ruin my reputation in the process. And so I was like, I'm trying to lay low. So he was like, yeah. And I was like, and it just kind of seems like he's talking about his feelings. And I said, I just don't want to get into that. I just don't want to go there. And once they start talking about that, I don't want to go there. I don't want to talk about your feelings. I believe that you should have decorum. You should be able to be, if somebody's trying to help you, regardless of what you feel like it is, regardless of what you perceive it to be, because I don't know you. It's the second encounter we had. You don't know. You can't assume. I don't think you should say it because you're the boss of a boss. You should not be saying it and causing an issue, creating a tension, especially since you're new, and especially since you're the boss of a boss. Like, you shouldn't be creating tension with your staff. You're still trying to figure the people out. So for you to, be like, I feel like you were trying to call me out and make it errors, it's like, okay, even if you felt like that, right? Even if you felt like that, you kind of respond with, professionalism. That's why it's called professionalism. You respond like that. To me, I would say personally, if I thought somebody was trying to belittle me or embarrass me, if somebody's helping me, I'm gonna take it as help. I'm cool. I'll take it as help. He said he could, but it didn't come out like that. So, but I would have just been like, if I thought they were trying to belittle me, embarrass me, I'd have been like, thank you, I appreciate that, and just left it at that. Just left it at that, so I can eliminate possible sarcasm coming out, because I feel like everybody has that, right? Sarcasm. But so I can eliminate possible sarcasm coming out, I've learned to eliminate words. Like, just don't speak. Like, you know what I mean? At all. Like, just don't speak. Like, just don't speak. If somebody's doing and nitpicking, I just don't say. I just don't say anything, because it's just better. Because I don't want to cause a problem, and I don't have the energy. So, in my from in my perspective, I would have, if I would have thought he was if I was being belittled, I would just been like, okay, well, thank you, I appreciate it. Like, to correct the error, like, thank you, I appreciate that. That's it. That's what I usually say. I say, thank you, I appreciate that, and that's how I end it. But he was like, oh, okay. He was like, oh, this and that, and when he took it, he was like, well, there's only one boss over here that needs to be able to do it, and no, I feel like I know how to do this, and blah blah blah. It's like, I was like, okay, so I just left, and it's like, you don't have to, aren't you like a boss? Why are you so emotional? You know what I mean? Like, why? And everybody's emotional here. I have to deal with my staff being emotional. Now my bosses are emotional. It's like, I'm tired of my job. Like, I'm tired of it. Like, I'm tired of where I'm at. Like, everybody in there got bringing their feelings into stuff. Clearly, I'm too hard. You heard that guy earlier on the live about 30 minutes ago say, there's nothing feminine about me. I mean, that's the perception that I usually get. Mind you, my voice is a little deeper today because, like, I've been working all night and stuff, but but yeah, I'm a feminine woman. But yeah, I do have dominant energy, but I am very feminine, but I do have dominance, especially in the workplace, especially because I have to be, because I'm in a male dominated environment, okay? And I'm homogenous. I'm not homogenous, but it's homogenous, the workplace. And trust me, it's men everywhere, okay? Even just the consumer base is male dominated, okay? So and that's just where I'm at. But I don't take it home for me, but I don't take it home with me. I know where to be. I know my man knows who I am, and it's like, that's none of your business. You know what I mean? Like, that's none of your business. Like, I'm at work. This is how I have to be. You have to just assume that this is work me. This is work me. It's not who I really is. Work me. And at work, you're professional. At work, you have boundaries. At work, you respect one another. At work, you know how to speak to one another. At work, you know how to just limit certain words that you say. You don't ask people about their satisfaction. You don't ask people about, you know what I mean, all this other personal. You don't ask people about apology. There's certain things you just don't do because you're at work. Thank you, Kumar. Yeah, they are gonna miss me, because it's like, y'all don't know, I know I could run that place better than they could. You know what I mean? Basically, I know that I could, but it's like I don't. I used to think I wanted a higher position. I used to try to strive for it, but they don't want me there, y'all. They do not want me there. They do not. I get the picture. Just like I get the picture of him. They don't like my personality. Okay, and most people don't. You know, a lot of people do, but again, and this is not to be conceited. Conceited, if you know, you know. As a chosen one, when you walk with God, when you walk with respect, when you walk with alignment of what God wants you to do and how He wants you to respect yourself and how He wants you to communicate with people, and just reading it, it's like warfare, warfare. They attack your personality. They assume on you. They attack your characteristics. Everything. And my main thing, and the devil knows this. Okay, the devil knows this about me. Mine is my voice, right? My voice. It's my voice, right? My voice is like a gift, right? It's a gift I've known for sure that God gave me, and I've always wanted to be like a singer too, but I don't even I don't have to have that. I don't even have to have that dream. I'll be comfortable just singing karaoke somewhere and just doing it because it's something that I love to do, right? For feeling. But I know that my voice is supposed to be heard. I know my voice is the gift, and I know I'm supposed to be, it's the tool, right? And I'm supposed to be doing something with it. Before I thought it was singing, before I thought it was this, before I was that. But I know that my voice is, I'm supposed to be delivering messages. I'm supposed to be speaking to people. I'm supposed to be telling people things. And that's why I make these videos. That's why I have pursuits to be on radio. And that's my ultimate dream. That's my ultimate goal, is that I want to, get myself out there, get my voice out there, talk about certain things. And I have a lot to talk about. I have different subjects to talk about, politics, and all that. Anyway, we'll get into that. You'll get into the journey. But, you know, I want to be able to use that. So the devil knows that my voice is my gift, is my tool. And he's always flipping it on me, y'all. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I feel like I got a little bit of makeup creasing. Oh, not cute, okay? I dabbed myself before. Mind you, I'm outside my car, okay? I feel like the devil knows the ops, the negative side. He know my voice. He know my voice. He trying to stop my voice from being heard. He knows my voice is the gift, and he knows how sensitive I am about my voice and my tone, and me being a woman and me having this type of voice. Okay, because me having this type of voice, people automatically think I'm masculine. Like, you heard that guy. I can't stop what comes out, how it sounds coming out of my mouth. They when people come in my staff and they want to critique me, they all say, it's your tone. It's your tone. You know how many times I worked on my tone? You know how many times I tweaked my tone? I've made it up, I made it down, made it left, made it right, inflection, no inflection, certain. You know how many times I tweaked my word? I've learned to be this way because people keep critiquing me. My voice, my like this, my that, my words. That's why I always take my time to be conscious of how I speak. I always take my time to take my time to say, how's my tone sound? It's like PTSD, and the devil knows that. So he always coming at me about my voice, right? He's always coming at me about my voice. He always says, your voice sounds like this. Your voice, it comes off like this. You're demanding. You're masculine. You're trying to tell me what to do. Like, it's like, and inside, in my heart, because God knows my heart. I'm getting a little water, y'all. Sorry, because this touches me, because it's like my blessing and my curse. It's like that thing about me. It's that thing that you just can't turn off. You know what I mean? Excuse me. It's the Holy Spirit. He knows what I mean. And the devil knows, in my heart. God knows. He knows my heart. He knows that my intentions are to not be like that, or to not come off that way, or to mean well, and to try to reach the people, like, try to communicate with them, try to help them understand, like, try to help them, like, you don't have to be so triggered. It's okay to have an adult conversation. You know, it's okay to speak clearly and address things and be accountable for certain stuff. Excuse me. It's okay to grow up and be mature. You know, it's okay to do that, you know, and I'm just trying to be me. And it's like the devil, he knows that my voice is that thing that like I open my mouth, instant perception, you know, instant perception, and that's kind of my weakness. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of my weakness, but on the positive side, it's a gift and it's a blessing. It's a blessing. It's a blessing because I know I'm supposed to be talking, and I know I'm supposed to be telling people things, and I'm not supposed to be reaching people. And I always see the good side of it because when I'm at work, I get to be on the microphone, right? Because I get to be on the microphone, and people compliment me all the time. You all, like, all the time. They always say, "Lovely." Every time I hear you, this is my staff. They always say that all the time. Hundreds of people. I work in a company where there's thousands of people, y'all, like thousands of employees. Every day I see hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. Okay, it's very fast paced. And so I'm on the mic, and my staff always come up to me. The guests always come up to me, and they're always like, "Man, you have a radio voice. You have a radio voice." Like, when you speak on the mic, I always wake up. That's what my staff always tell me, because I do it at the same time every day. They're like, I always wake up. You always make me feel like I'm in the club, or you always make me feel like I'm about to do something. They're like, or the guests, they come up to me, they say, "Man, you have a beautiful voice. It just sounds like, it's soothing. It sounds like jazz. You sound like you should be talking over jazz." And like, those are things I hear like all the time, and that's why I know there's like a polarity of, like, but it's like the warfare, the ops, the dark, the devil. He be sending them full force on me all the time, trying to bring me down. It's like I want to reach people, y'all. I want to speak. I want to speak on the mic. I want to speak. I want to be on the radio. I want to deliver these messages. I want to tell you all these things, and that's why I'm making this video. And I haven't made up videos a lot because, like I said, I have a story and I have a testimony. And I've been having my own battles. I've been battling depression, and I've been coming out of it, and I'm coming out of it now. I'm coming out of it now. And I'm really happy about that because it's taken a lot of time. It's taken a lot of time. Um, it's taken a lot of time, and it's taken a lot of energy, and I'm still moving through it. I'm still getting through it. Thank you, Kuma. I appreciate it. I'm still getting through it. I'm still getting through, because you look at your environment. My house was affected for, like, and it all started happening when I moved to this department. It all started happening, and mind you, it's been progressing because, like I said, I've been on my job 8 years, y'all, and it's my third department. And then when I feel like a certain way, I start moving around. I give myself 2 years. This department I'm in, it'll be 2 years in November. That's why I'm getting that itch. I'm trying to leave, right? So mind you, I'm not trying to just leave my job up front, but I am going to switch to another department, and this will be my last department in that place until I can, hopefully not ever have to work a job again, y'all, because they don't like me. They don't like me. And look, I don't care, and I'm not crying out. I'm trying to get rid of the other crying I just did. Okay, the old crying, because this one right here, this is not crying right here. Not for this one. Look, they don't like me, and I don't like them either. Okay, I don't like them either. I'm not made to be in there. I'm not made to be in there. You know how a job fires you, and they be like, "Oh, you're not a fit for this place." Okay, that's fine. You know how they be like, "Oh, you being fired is a blessing." Okay, yeah, that low key is a blessing because clearly you are not a fit for this place. You are not a fit for this place. But see, the difference between me is that they know I work really hard and I'm smart, so they're trying to use me, right? But they don't want to level me up. And every time I try to level, they don't want to bring me there because they don't want somebody like me that is going to make them grow and make it better and correct errors that they have, and the people that they hire that don't care in the toxic environment, and they don't want to deal with it. They don't want to fix that. They don't want to fix, people being late all the time, or people cursing people out, or people just making wrong errors and write ups. So they don't want to fix that. They don't want to do all that. They don't want somebody to catch the problem before it happens and then point it out. They think that's annoying. They think I'm annoying, y'all. They think me being a boss type person and being a very aware type person that can see things, see errors, see problems, you know what I mean? Communicate eloquently, speak to guests, give good customer service, work with coworkers, be smart, answer your questions, multitask, have time management. They want it, but they don't want you when they tell you to do something and then they disrespect you. They want you to take the disrespect, and I don't take the disrespect. I don't take it. They want me to take the disrespect, and I don't. And it's like they won't level me up. And it's like I'm not meant for you. So I'm not meant to just sit down and lie down and take whatever you want me to do. I'm not meant to be a yes man. I'm not meant to be lazy, because they're all lazy. The higher they get, they don't do nothing. I see them walking around, they do nothing. They don't even want to learn. And it's like, okay, so clearly I can't. God don't want me up there. Why would it make sense for me to be up there? Because I'm gonna be pointing it out. I'm gonna be like, why aren't you trying to learn this? I'm gonna be on the same level as them. I'm gonna be like, why'd you make that? What, you're messing. You're creating a problem, and this is why there was problems down below, and that they're talking about. They don't want to deal with that. They don't want to work. They don't want to work. They want to just have things easy. The higher you get, they want everybody else to do it. But then when you bring the problems to their attention, they don't want to deal with the problems. It's like they want to use me though for all of that I have, but they don't want me to be as close to them. And because it's the old boys club, it's the bald-headed white man club. I'm sorry, but that it is. It's the bald-headed white man club. Okay, and it isn't, and that's another thing. It's like there's no diversity, and that's questionable. There's no women. There's no women. And I'm not saying there has to be, but like just that is causes a perception. Even to the guests, they say something. They're like, oh, okay, when all the baldies come out. All the baldies come out and we see them grouped together, people look around and they're always like, what's going on? What's going on? You know why people subconsciously do that? What's going on? What's going on? When they see baldy white men together, it's because they're like, oh, something must be happening. Something serious must be happening. Something crazy must be happening. You'll see them all grouped together. It's like, yeah, exactly, cool. It's corporate America. Like, I'm not made to be there. Like, I'm not made to be there. I'm made to do greater. And God already told me this. I've been in my job 8 years. The first 6 years I was there, I got there as the first 3 years I was there, 4 years, I worked a job. I was at a low level. I told you guys a little bit of this. I got promoted, then switched, in that department, and then I got laid off. I was there 3 years, right? Worked in that low level for 2.5 years, for 2.5 to 3 years. Got promoted to a manager, right? And 3 months later, they laid me off. And they laid me off because there was this mass layoff, whatever. And I was the lowest of the seniority because I was promoted. They laid me off. For like a year and a half, I was like, y'all, so depressed. Because this place, like, I was attached to it, like glue. Like it's like I can't. It's like I just saw dreams of like I can get here and get there, and I saw myself moving up. I'm like, wow, like, you know what I mean. This is almost 8 years ago. Something a little more green. Or mid-20s, early 20s. This is my first real. I mean, not real job. I've been in the medical field. I've been this and that, but this is my first like job where I felt like I could make like move. I could see myself like moving up and up and up. And they snatched it out of me like that. In 2 months after the promotion, I got laid off. They gave me a severance check, and they told me, you can always come back and apply. And I was so depressed for like the longest time, and then my life spiraled out of control after that, y'all. Like, I have to make a video about that, but with my relationship, with my home, like almost an eviction, my relationship, and being cheated. I mean, it was like all at once, y'all. Like, it was happening all at the same time. It was a big spiritual attack. And mind you, before then, I was into voodoo, African, Egyptian, astrology. I was doing a voodoo thing. I was doing astrology business, like leading people to the dark path, doing something ignorantly, thinking that that's how it's supposed to be, not knowing that this is all God trying to like push me to Him. Okay, so I'll get to that. I'll get to my testimony another time, but um, and one day I'll make a video. It's called my testimony. But after that period, you know, I wanted to get closer to God. Right? I just kind of like came out of the astrology thing. I was still kind of in it, but I just wasn't into it anymore. Right? So then it was after a year and a half. I saw an opportunity to get back into the industry. Same place. All right? Same place. Got in a position, different department. I was like, okay, let me see if I can get these skills. And they were going to teach you how to do it, do all this on them because, like, again, this is a big industry, right? And I already had a license. So I figured, it's been about a year, when I was laid off. So I don't want to be back in that same department. I'm over that. They treated me like crap. I told you, every time I drove by, I live really close to my job. Every time I drove by it, I was dying inside. I was mad at that. I don't do that. I used to flick it off. I would flick it off. And I'd be like, I hate you. Like, I hate you. I hate you for what you did to me. Like, and I would drive by. I'd be so mad. And I'm working a waitress job. And I'm like, because I could always go back to being a waitress. I'm always good at that. And I just hate looking at it driving by. One day I heard on the radio, they were looking for these employees. And I just thought about it, and they said they were going to teach you, train you, all that stuff. And I said, okay, I already have a license. They'll probably, and I used to work there, so let me try. Applied, boom. They taught me. I learned. I got in there. Boom. I was in that department for 2 years. I applied for another department. They promoted me, okay? They promoted me again. And now I'm in this position. I've been promoted now, right? I was in that position. Now I'm a supervisor, okay? Now it's like, it's happening again, y'all. Almost. I'm back in the same place. And I say all this to say that I think God was trying to tell me the first time. I'm pretty sure God was trying to tell me the first time. And y'all, I've sacrificed my mental health, dealing with depression. Like, anyway, look. I get promoted. I'm in this position now. I've been in this department, in my position right now, almost 2 years. It's been a year and a half now. It'll be a year. It'll be 2 years in November. So it's my third department. Every department I give it 2 years. I'm trying to move around. So, and mind you, I still have my tenure. Like in my, you look up my information at my job, it says my tenure. It says 8 years. It's like they never wiped me clean or anything, which I love. Like I love that it shows that I've been there consistently, even though I got laid off, and it shows my different departments. So I'm promoted now, and now y'all, ever since I came to this department, okay, I thought the first department I was in was the worst department I've ever been in. And mind you, the second one is it wasn't as bad, but the first department, I had it real bad, okay? Like real bad, okay? Like I went from peer to their boss. It was a lot of women there in that department. It was women. I know it's a weird story, I know, but see, this is my journey, and I know it sounds confusing, but it's so interesting. It was women, all women, basically, maybe like one or two dudes, but they were doing the manly stuff. It was all women, and drama, women stuff, emotions. Anyway, I became their boss, and then once I became their boss, y'all, long story short, they did not like that. They said that I have an attitude. I could come off this way. My tone is like this. Anyway. They wrote a petition for me not to come back. When I got laid off, they were singing praises. Okay, my other coworkers had to tell them when I was gone, like, she did not get fired. She did not get fired. She was laid off. It was sad. But see, God didn't want me to get fired. God didn't want me to deal with all those women. See, I dealt with all those women. I was their boss. They wrote a petition on me for me not to come back to that department. I couldn't go back to that department because when I tried to go back into the industry and go back to that department, one of the people from that department told me that they wrote a petition on me. The girls in there, they didn't want me to go back. So I said okay. So I went to another department, and then I knew somebody from the old department I was in, and that's how I got in there because they hired me on that one. And then the department I'm in now, I knew somebody that was up there, so they hired me because they knew me already. So a lot of the movement I'm doing is because I know people. I try to know. That's why I love being there so long. It's like it's easy for me to run around because I know a lot of people. It's like when it's time for me to go, it's time for me to go. Okay, it's time for me to go. Exactly. It is a lot, Kuma. So anyway, they did all that. So I'm like, all right, I'm not made for here. So now I'm in. So I thought that was really bad. I went through a lot. I was crying. I really liked. I really thought that was it for me. So now, boom, second department, boom, third department. Now I'm in this one. This department, y'all. Now this one is the worst. Now this one is the worst one. I thought that petition was bad. They've been workplace harassing me, workplace targeting me. I'm dealing with sexual harassment. I'm dealing with laziness. I'm dealing with disrespect. I'm dealing with possible colorism. I don't know. It's possible. What is it? What is it? When you're, it, not. I don't want to say misogyny. It's not that word. It's when you have an issue with women. I don't know. Like not like an issue like misogyny, but it's just like I don't know. I can't. Sexism. Sexism. That's the word. That's the word. I couldn't think of it. Sexism. I'm dealing with that, and it's a lot of men. It's like I don't know what God is trying to do. Or maybe this isn't God. This is me doing this to myself because God already tried to take me out. Now you're like, done dealt with all these women. Now you gotta deal with all these men. And and then it's like dealing with all these men, a lot of them are super childish, which is unbelievable. It's like they have I don't know, no communication skills or emotional intelligence or anything like that. And so I'm back in here and now I'm at the supervisor level and I'm experiencing the ops, the warfare, the spiritual warfare, the attacks, all this stuff at the supervisor level again. It's and I told my boss, right? He's a director. I told him, and mind you, I have meetings with the VP, right? So I already know my bosses. I already talked to them, like so because at one point I couldn't deal with this wasn't working this chain, so the chain of command, so I had to go to the top. So now I just talk to him, right? I just talk to him, but sometimes I entertain like the other ones, and I'm like I'm going to, right? So the director, I told him, I wanted to be promoted. This was like 6 months in, what my plans were, what I wanted to do. He was like, oh yeah, just stringing me along, using me. Then they moved me around. They said we're going to change everybody's times. We're going to do a shift change, a time change. Y'all, they moved everybody's times around, put certain people in certain places. And they said, oh, nobody's going to have weekends off. Took my weekends away. Gave my time to another person. Put everybody back in their original times and left me where I was at in the new time. I'm the only one. Mind you, y'all, in my department, there's like 40 supervisors. They moved everybody's times around, right? They told me that they weren't going to take my days off. They took they weren't going to take my weekends off. They took my weekends off, gave them to somebody else, moved everybody's times around. A bunch of people complained. They gave them all their times back. I complained. They left me where I was at. I'm on a night shift, which I wasn't on before. They left me on where I was at, and didn't change mine. Took away my days off, my weekends off, and gave it to somebody else. Gave somebody my exact time that I had before. That is low. That just came in after me. That's lower seniority. And when I addressed my director about it, he said, you got to get over the seniority thing. That's not a real thing. And I said, oh, okay. I said, well, then what is it for? I've been here 8 years. Like, what is it for? Where does it apply? You know what I'm saying? So, and mind you, so now they're coming to us and they're telling us they're going to change our times again. They just changed my times recently, what I just told you about, 3 months ago. I was on the same time for a year, almost a year. For a year. 3 months ago, they changed my times just because they want to do some bull crap. Now they're going to do it again. And, they're asking preferences. It doesn't matter. You're going to do whatever you want to do. So now that's where I'm at. I'm like, y'all going to do whatever you want to do. You can do whatever you want to do when you want to do it. You're not going to promote me. You're not going to do, you don't care. You're not going to listen to me. You promote people that steal, people that embezzle, people that lie, people that sexually harass in my face, say sexually harassing things, touch each other in my face, co-workers sleeping with other co-workers, employees sleeping with other employees, staff sleeping with bosses. It's all over. I can tell you the names, everything. It's horrible in there. It's a big industry. Okay, cameras everywhere, people doing all types of, but you want to write me up off bullcrap. You want to write me up off hearsay because somebody said that you said this. They wrote me up off something like that. Did you know that they said that they said they looked up the cameras and they said I was walking aggressively towards someone. They said that on the camera. They said that they looked at me, they were watching me on the cameras, and I looked like I was walking aggressively towards someone. That's what they said. That's what they came at me with. That's what they came at me. That was a real thing that they came at me with to write me up about. That was a real thing. You look like you walk around. Mind you, all, I have a very strong stride. Okay, I'm very, I'm a very strong stride. I'm very confident, and that's my stroll. All right, and it's like, what the hell are you talking about? Excuse me, Lord, but what are you talking about? What are you talking about? I'm just walking, and it's a fast-paced environment, and we're working. And a lot of people walk differently and have strides, and you really, and why are you watching me? Like, that's another thing. Why are you watching me? Weirdos, weirdos. And it's just like, I don't want to work anymore. I don't want to work anymore. I don't want to work there. I don't want to work for nobody. I can't work for anybody. They don't want to work with me. I can't work with them. I'm not meant to be there. And God already told me that. But no, I'm trying to make myself fit in this place. I'm trying to be, why? Because, I don't know, maybe subconsciously I'm scared. I don't know. I'm scared to take chances and I'm scared to take risks. And it's like, what's the difference between me and that 1%? Yeah, that 1% took that leap. And that's why I'm making this video. Because my dream is to run my mouth. My dream is to be on TV and talk, and have a talk show. My dream is to deliver messages. My dream is to inspire people. My dream is to have a radio show and just soothe people and talk about news and politics and social stuff, and just inspirational things and conspiracies and deep conversations and growth and how to overcome things and how to motivate yourself and how to come out of the funk, like how to find the Lord. Like, I want to tell you, I want to talk to you about a testimony. I want to talk to you about my testimony. Like, I want to share. Like, I want to touch people. I want to heal. I want to touch people, and I want to use my voice to do that. And I feel like the Holy Spirit and Jesus and God be telling me that's what I'm supposed to be doing. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be doing that, and I'm being muted. I'm being stepped on in that place, and God already tried to take me out of there, and I just keep trying to make myself fit, because it's like I'm trying to use my strength and my skills to apply them there to heal that place, but that place can't get healing. It's a place made of vices, and it's like, I don't even want to work. I don't have the time or the energy. I don't want to have these conversations with my coworkers. I don't want to get into it. Every time I get a job, every time I go to a new department, I'm always thinking, what am I going to encounter now? What are they going to say about my personality? What are they going to do now? What are they going to think that I'm like this? What are they going to think I'm like that? When am I going to reach that person that's going to be like, I'm going to have that, I'm going to have to check, or they're going to have to try to check me, or we're going to get into it. We're going to have these real serious conversations. Like, when is that going to happen? And I don't want it to. I don't want it to. So I don't want to work anymore. So now I'm tired, y'all. So I told myself, this is my last job. This is my last job. I don't even care what happens. I'm going to put it in God's hands. And I'm just going to document the journey. You know what I mean? And I'm going to keep you all aware of what's going on. But I'm not working anymore after this. I refuse to have another job. I refuse to have another job. And you might be like, oh, what are you going to do for money and blah, blah, blah. I'll figure it out. If I have to, I'll do Uber Eats. That's what I've done before, Uber Eats. I have some money saved. I will figure it out. But I'm going to pursue my goals, because I just really feel like I just know, and I know the Holy Spirit knows that He wants me to trust Him and take that leap and just put myself out there and just do what I'm trying to do, because He don't want me to do this. And I'm not saying I'm going to go in there tomorrow and quit, because I'm not going to do that. But I'm going to let things happen naturally. It's either going to get to the point where I end up leaving first, or they end up leaving, or they end up, getting rid of me. But they ain't firing me. Like I said, I haven't been fired. I've been fired from jobs before in the past. I've been fired before, but not from this job. I've been in 8 years. I was laid off because that was a corporate decision. They did that to me. I was a number. I am a number there, but they're just trying to use me up, right? But I'm definitely going to leave that department before it happens. You know what I mean? Because they trying to give me disciplines that are progressing, that won't fall until a year from now. And it's like, okay, I ain't gonna be here a year from now. I ain't being here a year from now, because y'all stressing me out already. Thank you, Kuma. I appreciate that love. I appreciate that. Thank you. And that's the thing, Kuma. Like you said, don't try so hard. I've learned that. I've just, it's almost like I've been reawoken, right? And what reawoken me, that previous video I made a month ago, that issue I had at my job led me to make the video. And I think that these things are putting a battery in my back. It's getting me to make my videos. It's getting me to put myself out there. No matter how many people see my videos, no matter how small it may be, the point is that I have to gain momentum. I have to gain momentum. And I told myself that if I feel like I need to talk about it, you talk about it. I don't care what happens. I don't care what happens with my job. I try to be, I'm not going to intentionally put myself out there, but and that's why I'm not saying my business, but I'm going to still share my journey because I feel like it needs to be followed. Because wherever I'm going, I want you to know. And I want you to know what's going on. And I want you to see the, the signs. And I don't know if you're experiencing the same thing, and I don't know if you're with me or maybe you can relate, but like, I, I don't want to be there. I don't want to be there. I don't want to give them all my energy and my time. I'm, like I said, I'm just coming out of depression, okay? You know, I'm a hard worker. Sometimes I can procrastinate because I'm very hard on myself. And I'm a perfectionist at times, which causes me to procrastinate, which also causes me to, um, neglect things and stuff too, right? And let things pile up. So, what happened to me a month ago, led me to make the video. Something happened to me 2 nights ago at my job. I'm gonna keep it real short because I see this video's getting long. I know it's an hour and a half. I'm gonna try to keep it real short. But it is what it is. We're just talking. We're letting it go with it. So who knows? Maybe we're just gonna let it go with it go. But I'm gonna try to keep it short. At my job, I'm dealing with a staff member. Remember, I'm the supervisor. This is my staff member. This is my employee. I'm working. I just came into work. Remember, I come at 12. Okay, in the morning. I come at 12 at night. So I just came into work, walk in the door, bunch of crazy stuff. Loud noises, people screaming, typical, as usual, same as usual, same as usual. I see my staff member needs help. He needs assistance, okay? Because this is something that we do. This is my job, something we keep our eye on. They let us know they need help. I see that, right? It's my job to help him once he hits a certain point. I can't tell you what it is because it would be obvious. But once that happens, I go over there and I do my part, right? So I see it. I'm walking by. Mind you, I just got here. I just walked in the door. I went to the restroom. I walked by. I saw it. I said, okay, give me a minute. Let me let so and so know. And let's call so and so Jake. Okay, like Jake from State Farm. We'll call him Jake. I said, okay, give me a minute. I see you. Let me let Jake know. Right? So that's all I said when I walked by. I just said that when I walked by. I go over, I'm gathering all my supplies in order to help, right? Because Jake, while I'm walking by to do that, Jake walks by me and says, "Did you get this?" Right, pointing to that. I said, "No, I didn't get it yet because it just happened. So I was gonna come tell you right now." So I'm going there to get the up supplies and all that stuff in order to finish the job. Jake, mind you, Jake is not my boss, but he's kind of my boss, right? Like he's an assistant boss, right? So he's not my boss, but he's like the person that I report to um, when I come in before for the next shift. He's the previous shift, so he's the person I report to for the moment. So him and I, we kind of have this love-hate relationship. To be honest with you, I can't really stand him. He's very very corrupt, very perverted. There's a lot of things about him I don't like. But let me tell you something I will say about him. I can respect him. I can give him some ounce of respect because I can be very blunt and real with him. We've hit a point where our relationship where we have argued, like back and forth, and he's gotten really emotional with me, and we have argued, we gotten emotional, and we just like more than the guy Billy I told you about. Like we have gotten into it. Like me and him, like he's corrupt, and I've called him out multiple times, like stuff he should not be doing, and we have gotten into it. He's like the devil in there, like you know what I mean. He does stuff he's not supposed to be doing, and then he's still in there, and people like he has investigation. I mean, I'm like, how is he still in here? But that's the environment. It's like you keep toxic people there. So him and I have gotten into it, right? So the only thing I respect about him is that I can keep talking to him. He can come in the next day and talk to me, right? He can come in the next day and be like, "What's up? What's up, lovely? What's up?" He can still do that. Even though he'll like be like, "Why you do this?" And I'm like, "No, I don't like." He'll still do that. Like, you know what I mean? And so that I can respect that because we're all adults. It's like things get heated. You're wrong because you know if you're stealing, you're lying. I'm gonna call you out. This is my job too. Like what? You know, it's like you expecting me to just throw the wool over my eyes like I ain't seen you do something you shouldn't be doing. So you know, but anyway, he comes over to me, right, Jake? He comes over to me and he says, okay, when you come in the door, I need you to help me do this when this is happening because you're supposed to start when you come in the door. So I looked at him and I said, why are you talking to me like, why are you coming to me like that? I'm literally gathering the tools right now. You see me, I'm holding it right now and I'm about to go over there. So why are you coming at me like that? And he said, okay, well, he said, the person, right, the third party, Jake is telling me that the third party said, oh, he said that you said to him that you're gonna go get me because it's not your job to do it. Me, it's not my job to do it. So Jake is gonna do it. I was flabbergasted. I threw the stuff. I didn't throw it down. I didn't do that because I'm not dramatic. But I was a little bit dramatic. I was just a little riled up. And mind you, I just walked in the door and I had Red Bull and everything. I was, you know, and I had just prayed, like, and I said, this is gonna be. I said, God, I said, give me the patience, give me the strength, give me the, you know, the wherewithal, give me the tact, you know, in order to do this shit, do this job, and be able to make my way out of here. And I prayed real hard, y'all. And then I put that stuff down. I said, well, let's go in. You know what? Let's go talk to him right now. I said, we're going to all talk together because I'm tired of it. I said, oh, he said, no. He said, I'm not trying to go over there. I said, no, you're going to go over there with me right now. We're going to talk. He said, you don't make me, he said, you don't tell me what to do or tell me how to do something. I said, you're the one on duty right now. I said, you're telling me something, you're causing an issue. I said, so we're going to go over there right now. We're going to address it. I said, you brought it up. So let's all go over there. So then he said, okay, I'm going to take care of this first and I'll meet you over there. I said, okay. So I go over there with the third party because I'm like, you know, I'm heated, you know, because I'm human. I'm a little bit heated. But when I was walking, I told the Holy Spirit said, "Don't come at me." He said, "Don't start off wrong. Don't start off wrong. Start off right. Start off right." But you know, I did have a little bit of anxiety. So I came over to the table and I said, "Hey, third party," because I'm not gonna give him a name. I said, "Hey, third party, did you tell Jake that I said I wasn't gonna help you?" I said, no, first of all, I said, hey, how you doing? I said, hey, third party, how you doing? He said, I'm good. I said, hey, did you tell Jake that I said I wasn't gonna help you because it wasn't my job and blah 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 blah. He said, I thought I heard you say that. No, first he said, yeah, yeah. I said, so why'd you lie? He said, he was like, oh well, you said that. I said, no, you. I said, Jake said that you said I wasn't gonna help you because it's his job, not my job to do it, and he should do it. I said, so why did you lie? He said, oh, that's what I thought you said. I said, no, I don't appreciate you lying on me, and I don't like that because mind you, I've had a problem with this third party before. He gets into it a lot of people. And I don't like, I don't, I'm tired of it. Like a lot of my staff members, they're like this, like with the, how do you satisfy, they're manipulative. They're something, I don't, it's the environment. I'm telling you, it's very toxic. It's a very bad, it's a big industry and it's a very toxic environment that I'm working in. And like, it's like everybody has to be checked. It's like there's mental issues everywhere, right? So and I'm just like the light in there that can just see all through the bullcrap, and I don't like it, and I want you to respect me, and I want to tell you in a respectful way, don't try me, like you know what I mean, don't try me, right? So so then he's just looking like that, and I'm like, so I said I don't appreciate being lied on. That's something I don't like. Mind you, I already had a bunch of Red Bull, and I have anxiety, so I am a little bit amped up. So I said, I don't appreciate being lied on. I don't like that, and I don't want you to do that again. He points his finger at me. He said, I heard you the first time. I said, well, you're gonna hear me again as the supervisor. And I said that if you hear something, I said, and you don't know what I said, then you don't lie on me. He said, well, I thought you said that. I said, so now you thought. I said, so did you hear it or did you not hear it? I said, so what did you actually hear me say? He said, well, maybe you should speak up louder next time. I said, no, maybe you don't lie on people. I said, if you don't know what you heard, don't embellish. I said, what I told you was I will be right back because I'm going to let him know what's happening and I'm going to come right back. That's what I told you. I said, if you didn't hear me, now you're saying, he said, well, I didn't really hear you. I said, so now you're saying you didn't hear me. It's three different stories. So if you didn't hear me, why are you adding stuff to the story? So now Jake walks over and then, and mind you, at the end, the third party said, okay, well, I will let him know when he comes back what you actually said. I said, thank you. I appreciate that. So Jake comes back over and then the third party says, I was mistaken about what I said. She didn't actually said that. So Jake says, "Yeah, I figured that out. We were over there. We solved that." And I said, and I looked at them both, and I said, "Okay." I said, "Okay." I said, "So now can I get an apology?" And I don't know. Maybe you guys think this is pompous. I don't know how some of you may think this sound, and I can see to them, it's pompous, right? To them, they're like, "How dare you?" You know what I mean? Who do you think you are? And who are you, Queen Bee? And to me, it's just like, I don't think I'm better than anybody else. I think I deserve respect. I just think I deserve respect, and I think that was disrespectful, and I think I deserve an apology. You know, right? So I said, okay. I said, well, may I said, well, I said, I think I deserve an apology. I said, because he lied, and you came at me based off what he did, and I said, and there was tension. I said, all this was unnecessary because of what he did. He lied. And and Jake said, he gonna look at me like this, because mind you, y'all, I'm telling you, he's a trip, okay? He's a trip. He isn't for sure absolutely 100% a narcissist. I know this for sure. You know how people throw that word around him? I know he is for sure 100%. I know he's one. Some people have the tendencies. He is one. He he likes to play with me. You know what I mean? He he knows that I know him. He knows I see him, and he likes to play sometimes. Like, he likes to get into it with me. I could tell he does. And him and I, we laugh too. Like, we have a lot of laugh conversations. We'll argue and stuff like that. And then he'll say something, and I'll be like, see, I'll be like, and I'll call him out. I'll be like, that's the dirty thing about you. And he will acknowledge it. And that's what the thing, like, it's like with me, it's like he shows himself, He shows himself, but he's so fake with everybody else. But with me, I'll say, I'll call him out. I'm like, yeah, that's what when you touch people, you sexually harass people, stuff like that. He'll be like, he knows. He knows, y'all. But it's like with me, he knows. And he knows I can't do nothing about it because I've already tried. And he knows that I have to deal with it, right? So, but he'll admit it to me. Everybody else will try to hide it. So he goes in there, he looks at me, he's like, I have to think about how the situation was in order to give you an apology. And I'm looking at him like, wow. Wow, Jake. I'm like, really? And then finally, he thought about it, and he said, I apologize for the way I came at you. And I said, Jake, I really appreciate that. That's it. I don't have to hear anything else. It's washed. Every crazy instance that we ever had or whatever, I don't care about that stuff. And that apology didn't do it. I'm just saying, for that instance right there, it's cool. Like, I don't care. I can go work with you, and it's like nothing ever happened. That's the thing about me. I don't hold grudges. Like, I can work with you. It's like nothing ever happened. Basically, we're just gonna talk. If I have to talk to you about work, I'm gonna talk to you about work. I'm not gonna kiki kaka with you anymore. But if I talk to you about work stuff, I'm gonna talk to you about work stuff if I have to. Like, and I'm not gonna hold anything against you. I'm be like, hey, can we do this? And like, that's it. So then the third party, silent. He chewing his gum. Silence. I'm looking at him like that. I said, all right. I left. I walked away. No apology. That was the day before, with this shit that I just went through tonight, and the discipline. That was the same night of the discipline. It's like, now I'm making this video because y'all, I don't want to work. Then I'm coming out of the depression. I know I'm going in circles, y'all. I'm sorry. This is the thing about me. This is why I'm a talker. God said I'm a talker, y'all. I'm trying to tell you. When I was in school, growing up, I used to get in trouble for talking too much. But I always can bring the story back. Okay, I try not to forget. I'm coming out of depression. My house, everything is affected. My life, and now I'm making these videos, and now I feel like, I don't know. I'm finally starting to feel like, exactly, Kuma. Like, why do people say I apologize to you rather than use the word I'm sorry? Exactly, because saying the word sorry is like you're a sorry person. Like, they take it literally, like, oh, people, like, they do the manifest word thing. Oh, your words are, words are actions, and words are your breath, and you manifest, which is true, at the words, and they're like, words are spells, like, but some people take that like real seriously, like the grand rising people and everything, which I used to be, you know what I mean? Like, some people take that really, like, good morning, it's like, don't say morning, or, it's like people like that, like, they don't want to say sorry because they just like, I'm not sorry on a subconscious level. Like, I'm not a sorry person. I'm not a sorry individual. You're sorry. Like, they don't want to say that. They feel like apologize is is not exactly the word, but it's next to it. You know what I'm saying? And it takes a big person to say that. Apologize is fancy. Apologize is big enough to be like, oh, it's not weak. You know, saying sorry is weak. So. So it's fine. I take apologies. I take that. I can take it a word apology because essentially to me it's the same. But yeah, with the depression and everything that I've been struggling with, and then this department, it's like the depression got worse with this department. All the warfare, all this, you know, a couple of the stupid disciplines for no reason, all the setups, the workplace harassment, the embezzling, the being lied on, the being disrespected, the being harassed, the being sexually harassed, the being touched for no reason, you know, on my shoulder. And then we tell them, please don't touch my shoulder. I would appreciate you not touching me. And they say, well, you know, I didn't mean it like that. Well, I want to try to touch you like that. What, you think you special or something? I don't think I'm special. I just feel like, you know, it's my body and I just don't want you to touch it. And they're just like, oh, you think you're somebody? Walking, standing there doing my job. Somebody, why, you ain't married, you ain't this, you ain't married, don't no man want you. Random people, random guests. People say that to me, just random. I don't even say no hello, no hi, nothing. I'm standing there, just minding my business. But somebody walked by, he said, you ain't married. Just random. Just random stuff like that happens at my job. And I got to deal with my coworkers, my boss. They telling me how to do my job. My staff members, they be like, you do this, you do that. I don't want to hear none of y'all. You do it. You do it. You do it. I thought that you do it. That's how I be feeling. It made me go crazy. Y'all, my job pushed me to, this department just pushed me to, I had to seek therapy. I had to get on FMLA because you know, seeking help, because they're trying to make me lose my mind. And I told myself, I said, they're not going to make me lose my mind. So I had to pray harder and harder and harder and harder. And now I'm here, and where I feel like I'm using this as a battery pack, as momentum, that I don't want to work. I want to talk to y'all. I don't want to be in there. So now when they come at me and they say some bullcrap, I don't care anymore. I don't care anymore. They be saying discipline, and they say, oh, you're going to have this discipline. I say, okay, do what you got to do. You know, I understand. And, you know, I'm trying to be as professional as possible. I say, I understand it is what it is, you know. They try to get smart with me, and they say, oh, are you being like this? I'm not being like that at all, you know. Can we talk later about that? I'd rather not. They try to schedule stuff on my, you know, meetings on my calendar, talking about some, oh, we can just talk about whatever you want if you have a problem, blah, blah, blah. No, I don't want to talk about anything. I don't want to talk about anything. And the director of the department I'm in, he scheduled a meeting on my schedule one time. He didn't come, sent me an email 3 hours after when I saw him, but it's okay, I let it go, because he did send me an email. He sent me another one to give me a schedule. This time he said, oh, there won't be an agenda unless you want one. I'm like, why use the word agenda? You know, when he gonna put it on my schedule, it pops up on the calendar. It's a RSVP. It's like, why do you think it's agenda? Mind you, again, I already talked to his boss, the VP, so I don't really feel like I need to talk to him anymore and have one-on-ones. I don't need to talk to you anymore. I've tried to have multiple meetings. They're not working. Nothing seems to do. You don't care. Now when I'm talking to your boss, now you want to have meetings. Now you want to schedule stuff. No, I don't want to schedule anything with you. I don't need to talk to you anymore. You know, I don't need to talk to you anymore. I've already said my piece, and I've already said my piece to your boss. So then the next meeting he had, I showed up. This is the second time with the director. He scheduled one of my meetings. This is the second time. I said, okay, let me try again. Because I've been to a meeting with him before. I show up early because it's early. He stands me up. No call, no text, no email, nothing this time. No follow up, nothing this time. Nothing. Just stands me up. Mind you, this is the second time I showed up to work an hour early to see him because he scheduled a meeting that he RSVP'd and I said yes to, and he stood me up. Stood me up. And I was just pissed. And I went to Jake when I saw him that night, and he knows the second time it happened, and I was in, he was like, yeah, he's doing the same to me, and I don't like how he's treating me, and I don't care how you treating Jake, because Jake is a boo-boo too. So, but, you know, the boss is bald-headed, and Jake got hair, but they all got issues. So I said, you know what, so now this time, this month, he scheduled a meeting. He scheduled another meeting. He tries to have a meeting, like, you know, once a month he's trying to do now, because that's something that I told his boss. They don't have any meetings. They don't do this, so he's trying to do them, and it's like, no. So the day before the meeting was gonna happen, I said no to the RSVP because I have courtesy. Okay, I'm nice. I'm gonna say no to you. I'm gonna RSVP. I'm not gonna stand you up and not show up and then not follow up with you. So I said no. The day before, I said no because I thought about it. It was like a week pending. I said no, I don't want to do it. Then I don't want to see you anyway. And then he going to schedule a meeting on my meeting for October and then cross it out and show me, oh, I'm going to Vegas. I don't care where you're going. I don't care where you're going. Why are you going to schedule it and then cross it out and show me where you're going? I don't care where you're going. I don't care. I'm glad to know that, you know, say you're going to be out of town, but I don't care where you're going. I really don't. So I'm like, okay. And then, you know, I haven't seen my boss, not my boss's boss, you know, the head one, the director. I haven't seen him since then, right? I haven't seen him since then because, mind you, again, they moved me to a different shift, and the shift I was on, I used to see him a lot. But see, they moved me to a different shift because they don't want to see me anymore. They don't want to see me. They don't want to see my face. So I don't see him, right? Ever since I moved to a different shift, don't see him. So that's why I have to come in an hour early just to see him. Um, so then I can't. So I think it was maybe like a week ago or something like that. I don't know. I walk into work and he's standing there, bald headed meeting. Him, another baldy, another baldy. They all together. I'm over there. You old me, like vibrant me when I was first in that department. I was so excited. I used to walk over, hey, talking to. And he brought that to my attention before. He's like, you used to, you know, he's like, I remember, I thought you had a problem with me because, you know, of how, you know, I conversed with you. And, you know, him and I have even had this conversation, me and the director. Because I had to check him too. Because it's like, they will try you. I don't care. You could be the president. I'm gonna check if you disrespect me. I'm gonna respectfully check you. Like I'm going. That's just my personality. That's why I'm not made for this corporate life. Because I can't. Nobody likes and wants to be respectfully checked. Nobody does. So anyway, I saw my boss bald headed meeting. I just went around. I just went around the other way. They walked around. Anyway, he saw me. I know he saw me. I know he saw me because we met eye contact. I looked over. He saw me from a distance. I saw him. You know, and he usually leaves before I'm there, right? But see, he was still there. I guess he was, you know, he was just staying a little bit later. Maybe he got caught up doing something. Anyway, y'all went in there, went in the office, did a little stuff. In there for like 2 minutes, came back out, y'all. He was gone. He was gone. I looked around, he was gone. He got out of there. He saw me, he got out of there, y'all. He don't want to see me. He don't want to see me, y'all. I'm sorry, I got bags, and you know I was tearing up. He don't want to see me, y'all. He do not want to see me. Okay, he don't want to talk to me. He don't want to. He don't want to see me because I believe it's because he stood me up. I haven't spoken to him. I think he knows I'm feeling some type of way because I rejected his invite. He said I believe I deserve an apology for him standing me up. He's a director. You scheduled it on my schedule. This is the second time you've done this. You scheduled it on my schedule twice. And you up twice, and then you didn't even speak up. You didn't say I'm doing this. You didn't talk to me. You didn't do any of that. You didn't apologize. Nothing. The first time he did apologize, he sent me an email, and he sent it 3 hours before, 2 hours before, and I'm getting ready. I didn't even see the email. I'm like, what? And I show up, and I was upset about that, but it was okay because he did send an email, even though it was 2 hours before. I'm about to come to work, so. But anyway, this time is nothing. He didn't even give me the courtesy. And he still has yet to speak to me, still has yet to apologize. And so, no, I'm not taking any meetings with you until you give me an apology. Until you send me an email or say something or acknowledge the fact that you have been standing me up. And you can't even do that. Thank you, Kuma. Thank you. You can't even do that. You can't even give me that grace. So, no. So that's how I know, like, I can't be in there. They don't want me in there. Clearly, I'm not going to excel. I keep hitting a cap in this industry. In this field, no, not the field, but the industry, in this corporation that I'm in. It's a big corporation. If I told you the name, you just instantly know. You just instantly know. You'd be like, everybody's heard of that. So like, I feel like I've hit a cap, like, you know, because every time I try to get past the supervisor level, the assistant, you know, manager level, like, it's like they stop me. And it's like the closer I get to them, when I was getting closer to them and talking to the director and we were cool and stuff like that, and I started realizing like stuff they were doing that I didn't like, the more corrupt I realized they are. Like the stuff they say, the stuff they do, like just the conversations they have, they make me uncomfortable. And then I think, you know, they realize that and they don't want me there, so they keep stopping me. And also I believe that God doesn't want me there, so he keeps stopping me, you know. But I keep putting myself there, making myself go back by putting myself back at my job, even though I don't want to be there. Even though always end up saying, I don't want to work for anybody. I don't want to be here. I'm meant to be an entrepreneur. I'm meant to have my own business. All my family is, excuse me, all of my family is kind of that way. Well, not all of my family. A lot of my family, yeah, they work for other people. My mom, mainly. My dad's retired. My mom, my I get a mixture of it from my parents. My dad, he's worked the same job for 30 years. Sorry, I had the hiccup, y'all. He's retired. He's living a pretty good life. That's why I'm so consistent because my dad had that work ethic. I have that work ethic. I'll hold a job down, y'all. I will hold a job down. That's one thing about me. I can get a job very easily. It's not hard for me to get a job. Okay, and I will hold a job down. So my dad was like that. Very hardworking. I'm hardworking. We were very dominant in our field. Same way. He's retired. I wanted to retire. I thought I'm trying to do. I'm thinking that it's a similar kind of thing. But then my mom, on the other hand, my mom, she's had her business for almost 30, 35 years. Same business. She owns her own business. Um, she owns her own business, and she's been doing it. She's an entrepreneur. She does pretty well. She's an appraiser. She does really well, and all that. But she's also stressed too because she can't take days off. She can't retire. She has to work for the rest of her life, and I don't want to. She wants me to take that over. I don't want to do that. I have my own passion, right? And so I feel like the ingredients of both of them, and I know my gifts. I'm trying to apply it. I believe my mom had the right idea, but I don't believe that she applied her gifts. My mom is great at designing things like houses, like the house, my house that I grew up in. I mean, I'm telling you, my mom is like MTV Cribs with a house because we had a really big house growing up, because my mom does really well. Like she's a six-figure earner. Okay, her decorating skills are insane. Especially my childhood home right now. She's trying to sell it. I don't want her to. Um, I want to get famous and rich enough, or not famous, but I want to get financially wealthy enough. I don't care about the fame. Let me scratch that. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. I really don't care about the fame. I want the notoriety, um, the notoriety. Am I saying that right? I want the attention because I want the community to follow me and see me, but I don't want the fame where it's like unbelievable. I can't move around. I don't care about that. I just want to touch people. I like being local and people seeing me locally. But yeah, my mom, uh, she's good at interior designing. If she just did that, I'm telling y'all, she would make big bucks and not be stressed out like she is, and not have to be like, I don't want to do this anymore, and blah blah, and looking at a computer all day, every day, and words and finding papers. She don't want to do that. It's like you should be designing houses. You should be designing houses. That's what you really should be doing. You know. Um, and that's me. So I feel like I'm in between. I got that work ethic, and then I got that purpose, and now I know what it is, and God wants me to do it. And it's like I'm not. I'm wasting my time at where I'm at right now. Oh, sorry, guys. A couple neighbors yelling this way. Um, excuse me. Of where I'm at right now, that's wonderful that you had great parents. It's hard to find them. Yeah, Kuma. I my parents, they're my parents, and they did the best that they could. I have my own relationship with my parents. Of course, every relationship is rocky. Um, but I will say that my relationship with my parents could be a lot better. Again, I'll tell my testimony later. It will be a lot better. The older I've gotten, the better it's gotten. But we're just talking about in terms of their responsibility. They're very responsible, right? Like in terms of their responsibility and like holding down a job and their work ethic, I praise them on. They're really good at that, right? I give them their flowers for those things. There's things I can see about my parents that are good, they have really good qualities about, and those are ones that I picked up from them, that I got from them, that are really good, right? So those I appreciate. So my mom, I know that she has her own business, and I'm supposed to do that. And I feel like it's like like I said, the ingredients, this recipe, like I'm supposed to take a little bit of my mom's independence, right? And my mom is also kind of like, I'm like her, right? She's very professional, right? Her voice is very, and I think, my voice is a gift, but also God, knew who my parents were going to be, and he knew my mom, and he knew how my mom talked. And me growing up, I used to always hear my mom on the phone, pick up the phone, hello, so, and associates. So and so and associates. Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, so the broker is going to put it here and there, and he's going to make sure he has the numbers accurately, and then you're going to file that over to me directly. Okay, all right, bye bye. That's how my mom talks, right? Professionally. So that's just constantly what I was hearing growing up, right? And then my father, when I was growing up, he used to give me hooked on phonics. And because he didn't have like the best education growing up, right? The best childhood, so he used to be really stern with education. He used to make me do hooked on phonics after school, and he used to make me read him books and the dictionary, y'all. Like what felt like almost every night when I was a kid, and he would fall asleep, and I would be sitting there or having to read to him, and I don't ever remember him doing this to my sister. I don't ever remember him doing this to my sister. And he used to always say I had a smart mouth, right? And maybe I did, and maybe sometimes I still do. But my thing is that it's just that people are just too sensitive to, might be it, but whatever, kids are kids. Everybody know. It's like they, instead of capitalizing on that and like building on that and tweaking it and making sure it's respectful, but still making them be themselves, he tried to, beat it out of me, okay? But that's a different story. But he used to make me read him those books and read him the dictionary and read him words and just random words and just different words that just I didn't even understand or know. And almost every night, just read them to him, you know. And I get a little watery about this because it was a form of punishment. Um, and my father, he had some issues, okay, and our relationship isn't the best, right? And I don't like throwing certain words around, trigger the algorithm or whatever. I don't want to trigger the algorithm, but you get the picture. But it wasn't out of love. It seemed like it kind of seemed like it was out of you know uh, concern and worry because of his childhood, and how he was growing up, and he didn't have an education. He barely graduated middle school and all that, and he was in poverty. Like, it kind of seemed like he was pushing it on me. You know what I mean? And kind of like the Jackson 5 parent. You know what I mean? Like it's like he wanted something, and he gonna live through me in a way. And now it's like my voice is like this. Now it's like, now I speak like this. Now when I have to get into a certain mode, or I feel like I have to be clear with someone, I have to use certain words or certain vocabulary, or I say something to people like, oh, I never heard that word before. How do you know what that means? And I'm just like, oh, I just like word of the day, and now I have to read the dictionary. Now I look up certain words. I'm like, I want to use this, and I feel like, and I know, and I believe in the Holy Spirit that God gave me my voice as a gift, and He put me in that environment with my parents as kind of like training day, right? For my voice. Like training day for my purpose. Like you need to speak to people, so you need to know how to have speech. You need to know how to have speech etiquette. Excuse me, speech etiquette, and you need to know how to have an extended vocabulary when you need to, and but not come off pompous. Like what's that guy's name? Jordan Peterson. Like to me, he speaks so well, but then sometimes he sounds like he's having word salad. Like sometimes he sounds he's just too smart. Like he's just doing too much. Like sometimes you gotta throw a couple ain'ts in there. You know what I mean? You gotta bring it down. Like sometimes you gotta, and that's what another thing too. I feel like I've had like a bougie, a rich, poor life. You know what I'm saying? Where I've been in the hood, and I've been in the suburbs, and I just feel like I've been in between because God wants me to reach everybody. You know what I'm saying? God wants me to reach everybody. And it's like I know when to tap in, and I know when to speak a certain way. I know how to speak to this kind of crowd, this environment, and I know how to get real wild up with the other people, get real with the other people. I know how to blend in. I'm like a chameleon in a way. And I feel like God wanted me to do. He was like giving me training camp. You know what I mean? He was like, work on this environment, because you're gonna be dealing with you're gonna be dealing with the corporate system. So you have to know how to talk with that, and then you're gonna be doing outside of that. You have to know what to deal with that. Um, and yeah, he just gave me that boot camp for my voice. And and it just took me a while to figure out what I want to do and have the strength. And now that I know, like, that's all I want to do, y'all. So, um, that's all I want to do. So, again, and just with my depression, it is getting a lot better. Um, I did do more cleaning. I did clean up, more of my house. I did. Some stuff is still sitting there a little bit, but I have attacked a lot of it. I'm making my videos, and I'm trying to tell myself, don't be too hard on myself. Take your time. At least accomplish one goal. Accomplish one feat, even if it's one a day. Just try to do it. And just even if it's something, you have to take a minute, sit down for 5 minutes, just at least do it, because y'all, I'm telling you, all I've been doing for months since I came to this apartment is sleep, sleep, sleep. I come home from work, I go to sleep. I wake up, walk my dog, take a nap, you know, end up going to sleep, wake up, go to work. On my days off, I'm sleeping, 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 and it's like I've been in hibernation for like months. My laundry started piling up, the dishes were started piling up, the trash was piling up, my bathroom was getting dirty. Like, I mean, the laundry that I'm trying to attack now is like it was like 6 months of laundry. I've gotten the loads down now because I'm coming out of the fog, y'all. Okay, it's been like I'm coming out of the fog. Like, it's been like a month I've been coming out of it, but I still have some sheets and sprays, so I have to take that to the laundromat because at this point I can't do. This is a lot. But I cleaned my bathroom. I cleaned my bedroom up. I straightened my bed. I made my bed. I decorated my bed. I changed. Put fresh sheets. I still put the sheets on, but it's like I take the sheets off when I was depressed. I just threw them. You know what I mean, in the living room, and that's when the pile happened. Um, no, well, I'm kind of saying that loosely, Kuma. Not actually exactly 6 months of clothes, but spread sheets and spreads. That's how the pile it was getting bigger. It was like clothes, dirty clothes that I would use, from work, and just clothes. I have a lot of clothes, by the way. So like all the clothes I would have, I would go through clothes. I was starting to run out of clothes at that point because I wouldn't do the laundry. I was just going through my closet, getting more and more clothes, and I have a lot of clothes, like a lot of outfits for work and stuff like that. But the sheets and the spreads, and I'm constantly changing my sheets. You know what I'm saying? Like over, after or at a adequate time, and I would just throw the sheets and the covers and the spreads and the pillowcases and all that, and that's the bulk of the pile. Okay, that's the bulk of the pile. It's like sheets, spreads, clothes, like that's the bulk of it. So, right. So, thank you, Kuma. So I have attacked a lot of it, right? But there still is a mountain. So it was a mountain of some sheets and spreads, but I have attacked a lot of it. A lot of loads of my clothes. I have gotten all my clothes down, one load of clothes, and like the little mountain of sheets and spreads. But around that, I cleaned all my living room. I got all the trash. I cleaned my sink. I made my kitchen. I cleaned all the stuff out. I organized my drawers. Like, all I'm looking at now is just that laundry load, and when I walk in, it does blow me, and I did attack some of it, and it's making me feel better. I feel more clear. I feel more clear. I burned some incense, y'all, and then I got attacked. I went and flipped my sink. The whole sink flew off. Now my sink is broken. Right now, currently. All I did was go in the kitchen, lift up the sink, the faucet. The whole thing came off. I found two mice in my house. I caught two mice. And the mice come, and I live on the ground floor. The mice come when somehow coincidentally, it's not a coincidence, but what I've noticed when I'm going through something, right? When I'm going through something, or when it's like a stress related period, it's like the mice come. So I found two. My sink broke. My my tub got clogged up, and then the water was rising up, and the tub got all dirty at the bottom, and so my tub was clogged, right? So I said, great, great. Now I'm dealing with the stuff in my job. As soon as I said I'm gonna try to come out this depression, as soon as I said I want to attack this clothes, as soon as I said I don't want to work anymore, my sink broke, my faucet, my tub, my bathroom tub clogged up. I found mice in my house. My dog got sick. I had to take him to the vet. I got a discipline. Somebody lied on me. It's like I'm being attacked on all sides. And then, the mental health, the depression. I'm coming to my house every day. It's like a blanket of just depressive spirit in my house. That's what it felt like. Now it's coming out. Like, yeah, all at once. This has just been happening to me. I'm still in it right now, right? Because the faucet just broke 2 nights ago. The tub just happened 2 nights ago. right? Because I've been talking to my man, I've been talking to my friends, I've been telling them like I don't want to work anymore, I don't want to do this anymore, and I think I'm getting closer to it because before I've said this before in the past with the other departments, but like now it's like I really don't want to, and now I think it's because even if they fire me, I'm not gonna get another job. I don't care what happens. I'm gonna just find out what happens. I'm gonna just pursue my goal and see what happens. Even if I believe that God would not leave me homeless and destitute. I truly believe that He won't let that happen to me. And I'm not saying it's gonna come like magic, and I'm just gonna be like, oh, and I don't have to pay no bills. I got some savings, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna give Him a little bit. If I gotta do a little bit Uber, I will. But I don't believe He'll do that to me. So I'm gonna just go. This is my last job. I don't want to work. And ever since I said that, all that started happening to me now. And I really feel like it's because I am getting really closer because I'm really feeling it. Because I actually pulled myself out of the depression. I actually attacked that load. I went to the store and I got some Drano and I went in there and got rid of that drain and I lowered it and I unclogged it. So my bathroom tub is good. My man tried to come over and fix my faucet sink. He tried to put some Gorilla Tape around it. Unfortunately, the back pressure of the water came through, so it actually be replaced. So I still have to work on. So I'm kind of struggling with that. Mind you, also my water pressure is low right now in my bathroom. The sink in my bathroom has low water pressure coming out because outside of my condo, the pipes and where the laundry, I live right next to the laundry room. Excuse me. All the pipes are rusted and everything because my building's from the 70s. All the pipes are rusted and everything. So now my water pressure, because I live next to the laundry room, is low. So I've been dealing with low water pressure for about 2 months, just in the bathroom sink, not my shower or anything like that, and not my kitchen sink. But now the kitchen sink faucet has fell off, so I can't use it. Now I have to go to the bathroom and use the low water pressure sink until they fix that crap, which they're barely fixing because they plan on destroying my complex because it's the bills were made in the 70s and I have a contract to revamp it, but they've been waiting for years. So they just don't care over here. So I go home and I have to deal with that, right? So then the mice happened, so I had to get mouse traps, and then my dog was getting mice. Then my dog got sick, not because of the mice, but he was just sick. He's older. He'll be 11 in December, um, and I had to take him to the vet. Expensive, expensive. I pulled 2 checks in the past couple of months because I had to take him to the vet. Expensive, but he's okay now. He's feeling much better. Had to pray on it. That's my neighbor. I had to pray on it, and yeah. Oh man, my battery's gonna die soon. But yeah, there we go. Plug it in. Okay, look, I got the charger. But yeah, since my battery's gonna die soon, let's keep it short. It's 2 hours, y'all. Woo, I'm getting this out, y'all. I'm getting it out. It's a podcast. if you're not if you're not watching the video, just listen to it. But yeah, um, yeah, all this is just happening right now. So it's just like, okay, and I'm experiencing stuff at my job, seriously, at my house. It's like I try to come home, and my house comes home. I come home, it's like depression blanket is trying to be thrown over me. And it's like I'm not. I refuse now. I refuse. I put some incense in my house. I have a prayer altar, as you know, and I haven't been over to it. I pray to God, but I haven't been to my altar, and I still haven't been to it now. I'm trying to make my energy to do it. I still pray. I'm praying to God. I pray really hard in my bed, but I want to go to my altar. And I guess it's because that laundry pile is near it. It's just throwing me off. But I'm gonna try to get my energy to do that, you know. Very, very soon. Very, very soon. Um, because I like to get it all set up and candles, stuff like that. It's big for me. And yeah, it's just almost like this. So it's almost like it's that spirit is in there. So I had to put some incense in, clean everything out, and I do feel a little lighter. I do feel like it's lighter in there. And I am getting up. And even when I'm tired and I can't get to work and I don't want to go to work, I force myself. I'm trying to force myself. I'm trying to make a habit. I say 3, 2, 1. I say get up, get up. I'm making an alarm. I say get up. And I've overslept before. Even I've done 3, 2, 1. I try to get up. I've overslept before. Now I'm really trying to make a habit because I don't want to work. And I keep telling myself, lovely, don't worry about your job. Who cares anymore about what they do? I think it's because I cared about what they did and I cared about my job and I wanted to be there and didn't want to lose. Now I don't care. They can do whatever they want. They can do whatever they want because it don't matter. It's not gonna work for me anyway because they don't want me there. I can't level up there. Even me talking to the vice president of my department, not only my department, the other departments I was in, because he's the vice president. Okay, so all the departments I was in, he had control over. So he already knew me. I knew him before. That's how I ended up getting meetings with him, and I can have one-on-ones with him because I knew him from when I was like on the lowest level in the first department. And like, and he's been there. He's been a high level guy for a while, right? So even with him, you know, it's like he not helping me get there. He asked me what do I want to do. I said, oh yo, I said, oh me. I said, well, I'd like to. I said, I don't think that this is the department that I'm going to be in. I said, I'm eventually probably going to move to another one. That's what I told him. I said, I don't think this is it. And I told him the issues that the department was having very respectfully, and that's why we have the meetings. And he said, okay, okay. So he knows. He ain't even trying to help me get there. He ain't even talk to him about helping me get there. So they don't want. He don't want me there. You know. And he's a minority. He's a Hispanic guy, and he's not bald. He has hair, so so he's actually nice. I like him. He's cool, and he doesn't know what's going on. He can know some. I'm sure he knows some, but he doesn't know exactly all of it because he's not in the brunt. He's just meeting after meeting after meeting. That's all he's doing. So anyway, so like I said, let me just get back to that. But everything after everything after everything in my house, after everything in my job, I don't want to work anymore. It's stressing me out. It's taking me away from what I want to do. It's taking me away from who I am. It's turning me into trying to turn me into a different person. It's trying to bring me down, and I'm not gonna let it. I don't want to work. I know you don't want to work. I don't want to work, and neither do you. I don't want to work, and neither do you. If you really resonate with this video, you don't want to work either. You don't want to work for anybody else. You don't want to get into it with people. You don't want to have to deal with all these personalities. You don't want to have to, tell people how to do stuff. And there's all these errors. You don't want to have to care so much about your job, and they don't deserve it. You want to do what you want to do, and your passion, your skills. And I want to touch people. I want to be in radio. I want to be, or in talk show. I want to be whatever is going to utilize my voice and my skills and my talents of being efficient, of being proactive, being having time management, of being hospitable, of being eloquent, of you know just writing and reading, just all those things, educating like with my voice, just exciting people, talking to people, inspiring people, and having different conversations about on a podcast. I would just like to do that. Just run my mouth. You know. Thank you, Kuma. I really appreciate all your positive affirmations. So that's what I want to do, and that's what I'm gonna do. And I will tell you, just so you guys know, I don't want to put it all the way out there because you're not supposed to tell everybody everything you're doing. But I have made some moves to put myself in the broadcasting industry, the radio industry. I have made some moves to do so. I took those steps after I was experiencing all this stuff for 3 days ago. I took those steps like this. I'm telling you, all these things back to back to back to back to back. Put a battery in my back, and it's done this to me before. It's like God keeps trying to put the battery in my back by like by laying me off, and people putting petitions on me, and people saying I'm this, I'm this. He keeps trying to put that battery in my back so I can get here and keep trying to do it. But it's like I lose momentum. I lose momentum. I get that battery got to remain charged up, and it's almost like he knows that I just got to keep getting abused because if I get too comfortable where the abuse stops, it's trigger word. Sorry, the targeting. Okay, I gotta keep getting targeted. If I get to a point where I guess the targeting stops, I won't notice it. I guess I'll be complacent and I fall asleep. I guess, and maybe that's what he thinks. I get too comfortable and I fall into it, and I'm right back in the same cycle. I'm right back in the same cycle. Like, oh, you're still at your job. Oh, now it's in fourth department. And then you're gonna have to deal with something else here, and then you're gonna look up and you're gonna have 4 more years. It's gonna be your 10th year, and you're going to be in the fourth department. You're going to be talking about a new boss. And you're going to be talking about this girl. And then it's not going to be girls anymore or guys anymore. It's going to be, something completely different. I don't know. Robots. Computers. I don't know. AI. I don't know. Thank you, Kuma. Thank you. So, I told myself before I get to that point now, because God and the Holy Spirit is telling me like I'm gonna allow these attacks. I'm gonna allow these attacks. Attack, attack, attack. Target, target, target. Target, target, target. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Poke, 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 poke. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Last time I let you sleep. This time it's the alarm. There's the fourth one. There's a fifth one. It's going off. It's going off. It's going off. Yeah, I let it call off last time. And you hit the snooze button. There's no snooze button. Here we go. You're going to go through mental health. You're going to lose your mind. You're going to do this. You're going to spiral. You're going to have to see a therapist. Is this what you want? It's getting worse. It's getting worse. It's getting worse. It's like, no, I don't want it. It's like, okay, okay, okay. I hear you. I hear you. I be all up in my head. I can hear you. Now I can hear you, God. And I don't want to do it anymore. And I want everything to be in your will. I want everything to be your plan, by your grace. I'm putting it in your hands. Whatever you want to do it to me. Do what you will. My hands are in the air. Do what you will. If I get fired, if I get laid off, if I end up in the streets, if I, mind you, I've been homeless before, okay? And this is before I even had faith in God like that. Knew a God existed, but didn't believe in Jesus. Didn't like Jesus. It was into the spirituality stuff. So if I had done it before without him, I'd do it again better with him, and it'll be even greater because it's with him. And I don't know where he's gonna take me. I don't care where it is. I'm going. I'm going. I'm gonna go. I don't care where it is. I'm going. I'm gonna go because I don't want to work anymore. I don't want a job anymore. I'm not supposed to. He has greater plans for me. I know that, and I believe I'm the leader. I'm supposed to be the guiding of something, the creator. That's what he instilled in me. I am set aside, chosen ones. If you know, you know. Set apart. I don't want to listen to the bots and work under a bot and an NPC and a system and a Mr. Smith. I don't want to. It's not working. I'm trying to unplug. And what's the difference between me and the other 1% people? And I don't. It's Kuma. When you become famous, will you remember me? I hope so. Don't let me forget. Remind me. And it's not about the fame again. The fame can come with it. I fully believe that God doesn't want you to be famous. Like God doesn't want you to have that international fame, Beyonce fame. He doesn't want you to have that. That's not in this life, in this world, because it's idol worship, right? And no one can be above him. You can't worship anybody. So he doesn't want. So me, I know that if I ever hit that point, I ain't playing with God anymore. And from what I believe, it's not God that I'm playing with anymore. It's somebody else. So I wouldn't even want to get that high. That's just me. I like local. I want to keep it real local. I want to keep it real. People in my town know me. You know what I mean? Maybe a little bit on the internet. That I'm known. Or I got a couple books. Or my name is known as motivational. But I'm not like a Beyonce. But I'm a household name. You say my name, people are like, oh yeah, I love her. I love her show. Like that. You know what I mean? Like how Ricky Lake used to be. Like you just say Ricky Lake, people know that's Ricky Lake. You know what I mean? Or Maury. You see Maury walking around. Now, I'm not trying to have these type of shows. I'm just saying, we were talking about famous talk shows or whatever. You see Maury. If you saw Maury, you'd be like, that's Maury. That's the kind of thing. I don't want somebody to be like, I don't want that. I just want somebody to be like, hey, I really saw your video the other day. It really hit me. Or that was really profound. Like what you said. Like that's all I want to hear. I just want to hear that stuff. I don't want no three. I don't want that. You know. I just want to, I want to turn on the radio. I want to hear my voice. I want to hear somebody say, smooth jazz 105.9. Lovely here. I'm on the radio with you. We're going to ride right on in while you're probably in the traffic, or if you're not in the traffic and you're enjoying that time, then we're going to listen to a little bit of a music that I got for you, and it's going to be so nice. One of my favorite songs. Cupid Zero, if you haven't heard it, it's really good, and it's going to soothe you. Don't fall asleep. Right? Like, I feel like I'm like, it's giving like, that's what I'm meant for. Or, traffic reports, like coming out here on the Beltway, going around the bend in 295, we're gonna make sure you're slowing down. There's a little bit of bumper to bumper traffic. When you're coming into your workplace, take it a little bit easy. The weather, make sure you bring your umbrella. It's gonna be about 75 degrees. Like, I just want to tell you guys that stuff. I just want to tell you guys that stuff. You know, on the radio, she's like, "What do you think about the elections of, So for right now, it's looking like Trump has 5% of these votes, and it looks like Kamala has 5% of these votes. What do you think? Interviewing others, like, what do you think?" Is going to happen when we get close to December? What do you think is going to happen when we get close to November, when everybody's going to the polls? What do you think is going to happen then? Are we going to have crunch time? Is it going to be like the Super Bowl? And what do you think, Bob? Oh, well, you know what? It's gonna. I think it's gonna be a crazy time. Hopefully, it's not gonna be like stomping the White House. Stomping the White House. I mean, you know what they said about those people that were stomping the White House, right? They freed those people. They actually got them off. They got them off. Can you believe it? They got cut them off. And then they said that they were all free. And, Trump saying that, oh, it's a setup. His shoot is a setup, blah, blah, blah. Do you think it's a setup? It was 100% a setup, lovely, 100% a setup. I mean, how can anybody else see it? It was an inside job. Everybody knows it, blah, blah, blah. But, all of that. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. Yeah, so, I just want that. And then somebody can hear me. Maybe I go to a coffee shop or whatever, and I say, "Can I get a coffee?" And they say, "Can I get a name?" I tell them, "Lovely," and they say, "Your voice sounds really familiar. I've heard you before." That's the one I want to hear. They don't even have to tell me what it is. I just want them to know that I delivered a message to them. Okay, I delivered a message, whether it be about the news, politics, journalism, the stuff of the day, inspirational quotes. I want to talk. I want to do all of it. I want to keep you up to date, and I want to inspire you. I want to do that. So please pray for me. Get me there. I know this video is long. Oh my goodness, it's long. Okay, I don't think I've ever had this long of a live, except for when I was previously doing them demonic tarot cards. I think this is the first time, but if you were here this whole live and you're watching, oh my goodness, I love you. Oh my goodness, I appreciate you. I thank you so much, because I am a ranter. Okay, I'm a yapper. My man said, yeah, you like to yap, you little yapper. And he doesn't really talk that much. So he's like, yeah, I do enough for both of us. And he loves my conversations, because I mean, I get real deep. I'm telling you, like, people that I talk with, I mean, I can meet you, especially if you have good spirit. Like, I get along with good spirits. Them bad, dark spirits, it's like, I can go either way. It's like, but we're gonna have a conversation. It's always something with my voice, and it's always gonna be a conversation. The conversation is either gonna be with a good spirit, where it's in depth, it's compelling, it's refreshing, it's satisfying for both of us on both ends. It's rewarding on both ends for both of us, where we're both receiving things off of it and being enlightened and growing and going back and forth and word sparring and banter and everything like that. It can either go like that, where I can do that to you and we connect and we start talking about conspiracies and aliens, and we get real deep real fast. Like, I get real deep with people real fast. I'm not that into small talk, surface level conversations. No, like, once you meet me, it's almost like you get deep. You know what I mean? I don't just open up and be like, oh, what's your bank account? Or like, how many kids you got? I don't be doing all that. It's just, I say hello, you say hello, you fill me out, I fill you out, we talk a little bit, and it's like, oh, what else you like to do? And then suddenly you bring us something you like to do, and I say, oh, I remember I saw a video like this, blah, 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 and then suddenly they say, I saw a video like that, and then boom, like, we're connecting. And we're going there. Or it can go away where you say something where you try me because you want to test boundaries, because you're a dark spirit, because you're a troll. Okay, because you're a walking troll. You're not filled with positivity, you're filled with negativity. You're a walking troll under the bridge. You have a riddle, and you want to, do manipulative riddle tactics, like the Riddler, like the Riddle Man, like Batman, Legacy, whatever. You want to be all in. You want to be all. You want to be a rhyme and a reason. You want to be the Peter Piper or whatever, pick a pepper, and you want to play get mind games. You know what I'm saying? Once I see right through it. Like, I'm like, it's radar. And then, like, I don't try to see it. You know what I mean? And I don't intentionally look for it. And like I said, I give grace. Like I said before, I give grace. I let you do it. Everybody gets one. Spider-Man. I let you do it. And I allow grace. And I try to see, is it a habit or is it just some traits? You know? And then once you come at me like that and you do it again, okay, now we're going to now our conversation is going to get word sparring, where it's going to be a battle of the minds, where it's going to be, we're both going to stand our ground, we're both going to be going back and forth. And guess what? I'm going to come out not scarred. I'm going to come out checking you, and you're going to come out feeling like, what just happened? Because you thought that you can get over on me, and you're not going to. It's either going to go one or two ways when you meet me. It's like on the spectrum like that. On both high ends of the spectrum. Excuse me. But yeah, so I don't want to deal with all that anymore. I just want to be on the radio, talk to people, banter with them, and then whatever I get into with people, I want them to see what I deal with. Like, if I ever do interviews or talk to people or communicate, that's why I'm going to start recording. You guys are going to see all my encounters, all the stuff I communicate with, and what's up with me and what I mean, so you all can witness it for yourself. I think you should. I'm documenting the things, my encounters and all that and stuff that I do, because if you can see the encounters I have and the conversations I have, and just how things start off, like people that end up standoff, or they perceive me a certain way, their facial expressions, body language, like, and then how it changes or doesn't change, for the good or for the bad, you would understand what I'm saying. I feel like it should be, for this channel right now, just getting closer to God and everything. It'll be somewhat of kind of like a diary, of course, like I've said before, or maybe somewhat of like a you know um what have you done, following a chosen one, you know what I mean, like following the chosen one type thing, where you're trying to see what a chosen one's life is like. Because some people, they're like, oh, they're a chosen one, they think they're a chosen one, they don't know, like, but if you actually see what a chosen one's life is like, and you see all the synchronicities and the alignments and the messages and all that stuff and the encounters and all that thing, if you witness it, you'd be like, this is so weird. Like, from the outside, somebody that's not a chosen one, somebody, let's say, that's like an NPC or whatever, just a bot, they awakening them, right, and showing them what a chosen one goes through, and helping them understand, visualizing it for them, so they can see like the encounters and be like, that was a weird conversation. But see, they don't know what it's like, they don't know what that, they just think it's weird. They're like, how did that happen? How did you know that? You know what I mean? Or how did you know that was going to happen before it happened? Or how did you know he was going to say that before he said that? Or like, why did he respond to you like that? Or why does it seem like he has an attitude? Why is he so triggered? Or why do people talk to you like that? It's like they don't understand from the outside, but if they see it and follow a journey, they'll be like, man, they're always having these weird encounters, they're always have a story to tell. It's like, that's chosen one activity. That's what it's like to be chosen one, and you will see the examples of them, and I want to show you the examples. I want to show you the examples. I gotta, my neighbors must, oh, they must be on their patio getting it in, because they loud neighborhood, okay? But yeah, I want to show you those examples. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it. It's gone way too long now. I know I've been saying wrap it up 3, 4, 5, 10 times, like 15 different times now. Maybe I will break this video up and like condense it. I don't know. But I will start making videos where I'll upload, not stream. The only reason why I'm streaming and live streaming is because that's when I get the passion. Something happens at my job, it triggers me. I do the live because I don't want to get tired. I don't want to not do it. I don't want to get comfortable by not doing it. Okay, so I just do the live, like immediately when I feel inclined to, when I feel the spirit moves me. So pray for me, please. Help me, say if you got my best interest, to get me where I need to be. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, guys, again, for listening. I bless you all. Um, you know, I just want to say, let's just end this with a prayer. In Jesus' name, thank you, everyone. Thank you for all those, Lord, that have been sent to me, that have been watching this video. Please bless them in their lives. Please continue to allow them to listen and be open ears and open-minded. Please continue to allow them into your heart. Allow you into their hearts, and awaken them and open their minds and their hearts and to follow you in your will, to enlighten them. Please allow you to show them who you are, and that you are real, and that you do exist, and you do make things happen, to trust in you. Bless and protect all those that have our best interest. Bless and protect all those that are working hard and struggling, and help them to overcome all their battles and their trials and their tribulations. Bless the chosen ones, and those that feel like that they don't know if they can prosper or make it through their work of employment or their home or whatever obstacles that they're going through. Just show them that you are there with them, and you are there for them to fall back on, for them to lean on. And no matter what they go through, it doesn't matter what it is, it could be anything, you will not leave them destitute if they believe and trust in you. So I want you to protect all those in the children of God, and awaken others. Bless the world. Give it peace, Lord. Thank you. I love and appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. In Jesus' name, amen. Oh, man. All right. Well, have a good one, y'all. I'll be back. Maybe sooner than later. You never know. All right. Good night.